Hello my loves, welcome to my channel Sun Love Stars and welcome to today's pick a card reading. If you guys are new here, my name is Cynthia and I'm going to read your cards today, okay? So as you can tell by the title, we're going to look at what you need to hear right now, meaning that your spirit guides, the universe or God, whatever you want to believe in, whatever you want to call it, the Holy Spirit, the divine, or even like an ancestor or a departed loved one that you have prayed to. Okay, so this can also be an answer for your prayer because you maybe have been asking for clarity, for guidance, to somehow receive help, or how am I going to get out of the situation, and this reading might be the answer to your question. Okay, so it's kind of like you ask spirit a question and this reading right here might have the answer, or somehow kind of like spark a thought inside of your mind that is going to lead you to your answer, okay? Because spirit talks through everything. If you pray, the way spirit is talking, spirit is basically talking through everything, including tarot readings. So there might even be somebody here who's very new to all of that because I was explaining it. If you are, welcome. Welcome to the ride. So guys, in the next clip as usual, you can choose between 3 images or 3 symbols, and we're just going to look at what your spirit guides want you to know. What do you need to hear right now? Again, this might be like an answer to your prayer. There might be signs and synchronicities that are somehow going to make sense to you and guide you to where you want to be. Okay, so without further ado, in the next clip you choose between 3 images, and if you feel very indecisive, you can go on Google, find a number generator, talk to your spirit guides, talk to God, talk to the universe to guide you to the right pile, and then the number generator will spit out a number, okay? And then there you have it basically, okay? So without further ado, we're going to look at what do you need to hear right now, what your soul, your spirit, your mind needs to hear right now. Okay, and I'm going to see you in your reading, guys. Hello my lovely power number 1. Welcome to your reading, guys. I'm actually doing your reading the last today, so if my voice is a little bit raspy or if I take breaks while channeling, it's because I already did pile number 3 and pile number 2. So as you can tell by the title, we're going to look at what you need to hear right now. This might also be an answer to your prayer, because usually when we have a question in our mind, we basically put the, like when you think about something and it's like a question, your question is floating in space, and spirit, God, the universe hears you even if you don't say your prayer, or your spirit guides hear you. So this might be an answer to your prayer, or this might be an answer to your question to guide you to where you wish to be. But this could also just be where your spirit guides want you to be aware of something, or the universe wants you to notice something, okay? This is what we're going to look at today, what you need to hear right now. So let's see. This flame doesn't want to go off. Like, I had the same thing happening in pile number 3. So funny. It doesn't want to go off. Do you see that? God damn it. Okay. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, give me a moment, guys. If you're new here, I usually channel the energy and then I show you the cards here and there. Okay, and again, I might pause a little bit more often because my voice needs a break. Because you guys know I talk like a waterfall. I actually heard the song by Alicia Keys. I heard, I keep on falling in and out of love with you. I never loved someone the way that I love you. Okay, so for some of you guys, which is on brand and every pal had this message, I feel like for some of you guys, you are about to fall in love, or the universe is preparing you for a union, or is preparing you for you to fall in love with somebody, but they might also want to talk about you falling in love with yourself, now that I think about it, because we have the card here, falling. And I kept hearing that song anyway the last couple of days, and I am not like a huge Alicia Keys fan. So for some of you guys, you maybe have listened to Alicia Keys recently, or you've seen her, you've seen a video of her. I'm also being brought to furniture. Somebody here, I'm being brought to the color white. So for some of you guys, this is just channeling, just to give you confirmation that you chose the right pal. So pal number 1, for some of you guys, you have been very drawn to the color white, or you have been thinking about buying new furniture. I'm also closing my eyes because it's easier for me to channel when I close my eyes. Okay, so for some of you guys, okay, so for some of you guys, you are drawn to the color white and beige. I'm being brought to like white, beige, or cream colors, or nude colors. I'm also seeing like furniture here. So somebody has been drawn to buying furniture, or you might actually be somebody who designs furniture, or something about you have been rearranging your home. I'm specifically seeing like a kitchen. I'm also being brought to a sofa where somebody here might be, well, somebody here might be sitting on a sofa, but I'm specifically seeing like or maybe somebody has been looking at a sofa that is like beige, or has like a cream color, or something along those lines. Okay, or you like that aesthetic is what I'm picking up. If some of you guys, you have like a gallery, like Pinterest, or you have been getting inspiration what you want your future home to look like, or you have been trying to manifest an apartment or a home. Okay, I'm I'm also picking up here, this is not gonna be for everybody, but I'm being brought to like you being approached by a man who is bald, is what I'm picking up here. Okay, this is not gonna be for everybody, but you will be approached by a man who's bald. I don't know, bald. I don't know in which context, so I don't know why, if it's like a family member, or if it's like something, if it is something like romantic or business, but I'm seeing you here, or maybe there's something about a man who's bald, who's gonna contact you or talk to you, or something along those lines. I don't know what this means. Okay, let me see what else is coming through here. I'm picking up like, I feel weird here. I feel like a weird energy here. So for some of you guys, maybe you have been listening to third eye chakra music, or something about a third eye, or you have been feeling like you want to pay closer attention to your third eye, or something like that, or something about an eye, like the where somebody draws an eye, is what I'm picking up here. Or you have been seeing a lot of eyes, like literally like the eye symbol, you know, where you see somebody in a t-shirt and there's an eye, or for some reason every time you look in a direction you see like an eye, you know, like I literally mean like an eye. Okay, let me see what's happening here. What do your spirit guides, what do you need to hear right now? For some of you guys, you also had an incident with a spider recently. Okay, let me see. You could be very much connected to pile number 2, because I talked about something in pile number 2, but in my mind I saw a spider, but I didn't say it. But here the spider is present. Okay, because we have the spider here and it says connection. Okay, so let me see what's happening here. I'm also seeing a globe here. Okay, something about a globe, where you have been seeing like the image of a globe a lot, or something about you've been drawn. I keep picking up where you have been drawn to buy decoration for your home, your house, or your room, or you've recently done that. But let me see. Okay, so we have the card here, authenticity. And it says, who I truly am is good indeed. I am authentic in thought, word, and deed. So I think the reason why I'm hearing this song, again, I'm not a fan of Alicia Keys, so I don't know why I'm channeling this song, but maybe your spirit guides also want you to know that the songs that you are drawn to or that are recommended to you at this point in time, they're significant. So your spirit guides talk to you through music. Pie number 2 and pie number 3 had different messages, but your message feels like your spirit guides talk to you right now in this very moment through songs that you are recommended to you, even very old songs that you haven't heard in a while. And for others of you, there's also an energy of you dreaming of places that you've never been to. So I feel like I would not be surprised if some of you guys tell me that you have dreams of places you've never been to, like you know it's a foreign country, because I keep picking up like a foreign energy, because with the globe here, okay, with the globe energy here, I pick up an energy of traveling or something about like foreign energy, something about where you maybe have dreams where you are in a different place. And for others of you, I pick up a strong energy where your spirit guides are actually preparing you for you to travel somewhere. I'm actually hearing here for a lot of you guys that your spirit guides actually want you to put money away because you are about to travel and you don't know about it yet. Does that make sense? So your spirit guides are saying you are about to travel to a foreign place. So they already want you to put money away because then you're going to have the money ready, as if you knew you would travel, which you now know. If that makes sense, okay? Or there's something about someone here is about to ask to travel with them, okay? This might happen within the next couple of weeks and months is what I'm picking up here. I'm specifically seeing October, something about traveling in October. I'm not gonna lie, not for everybody, but there's something about October. Or somebody here might be born in October is what I'm picking up here, but I pick up a strong energy. Somebody here is going to travel in October and they don't know about it yet. You could have also had a lot of dreams where you travel. So a lot of your spirit wants to tell you that the reason why you dream of traveling so much is because you are about to travel. So the places that you see in your dreams are the places you are about to see in real life, where you already can. I'm being brought to remote viewing. So for some of you guys, I don't really know what remote viewing means, to be honest with you guys, but somebody here has the gift of remote viewing, or something about where you can visit places in your dream as if you have been there physically, but you haven't. But you have the ability to kind of like see a street in a different country or in a different city. For some of you guys, you are about to experience like moments where you know, oh my god, I had a dream, I saw this, but it's like across countries, like it's in a different continent, where you somehow saw places in a different continent. Or again, your dreams are telling you you are about to travel. May that be a road trip, may that be for a weekend, may that be for 2 weeks. So there's a strong emphasis on traveling here, or something about there's a specific country or city that you are about to fall in love with, or something about you're gonna be very surprised about a place. I almost feel like you are about to travel to a place and you had a past life in this place, which is the reason why you do remember a lot of stuff when you go to this place, okay? For others of you, there's something about like your soul is connected to this place, which is the reason why you have been dreaming of this place for years, but you're only now traveling to this place. I don't know what the heck that means, okay? It's going to make sense to somebody here. For others of you, pick up a strong energy where your spirit guides want you to know that whatever you wish to experience or manifest starts with you loving yourself. Something about when you dive, I'm hearing head over heels, or like where you have an energy where you dive into an ocean, but the ocean is like self-love. And I know it's so cliche, like every time you click on a reading, you probably cannot hear it anymore, like, oh my god, self-love and stuff like that. But I literally hear like an energy where you can genuinely say, can I say something? I'm hearing your spirit guides, they wish to see you saying, I would fall in love with myself. Like when you look at yourself, and I'm not only talking about the way that you look, it might add, but where you just feel like, oh man, I really like my character, I really like how strong I am, I like how ambitious I am, I like how kind I am, I like how compassionate I am, I like how intelligent I am, where you kind of really fall in love with yourself and fall in love with who you are. Something about where you can genuinely say, I would fall in love with myself, I would marry myself, I would want to live with myself. I think my company is so freaking amazing. And if you are in this energy, that's when a huge manifestation is coming to you. That's what it feels like to me here, okay? Because it says, the card here says, let me show you the cards a little bit here and there, because the Empress is all about self-love. It's all about self-care, self-love, and really enjoying yourself, or being proud of how God made you, being proud of who you are as a person and knowing what you're good at and really celebrating what you're good at. But also being very familiar with your weaknesses and maybe like working on them or accepting them or something along those lines, okay? Now, if the Empress is in reverse, this could be a lack of self-care or a lack of self-love, or feeling like you're not so 100% happy with who you are. And again, I'm not talking about like your fingernails, and I'm not talking about your legs. It could be, but it could also be that you would feel way better if you found yourself more disciplined. Does that make sense? So you would love yourself more if you found more discipline. You would love yourself more if, and again, it's not about how amazing your body looks when you eat healthy. It's about the discipline where you are proud of yourself, that you take care of your body. Does that make sense? So it's way deeper than like eating healthy and having an amazing, like having an amazing body is the byproduct, but the feeling of I take care of myself and, you know, I make sure that I feel good is the core of eating healthy or doing things that make you feel like, where you practice healthy habits. So again, there could be an energy where maybe it has not been that easy for you to, I don't know, be proud of yourself or to really like yourself or to enjoy your own company, or there's something in particular like where you know, like if I would change that, I would be so connected to myself, or I would be so like proud of myself. I would feel so good about myself. For some of you guys, there could also be an energy where your spirit guides want you to connect to your body again, because you maybe have been a little bit disconnected from your body, and your spirit guides are saying again, there's something about whatever you wish for is somehow connected to you being one with your body, or to where you are one with yourself, to the point where you genuinely look into the mirror and you are content with yourself, or you really like the last couple of weeks, or you're proud of what you've done the last couple of weeks or months or days. And it could be small changes, but it could also be big changes, okay? Is what I'm picking up here. Now, let me read this card out here. And again, this is also the reason why all of that I'm describing is basically preparing you for this union. Because the Ten of Pentacles, if you look at it, this is straight up, this is my man, this is my woman, or you introducing your partner to your family. Okay, and if it's not that, this could just be that whatever I'm talking about is somehow connected to you having enough money to relocate, you having enough money to travel, or somehow like a big blessing coming to you and your family financially is what I'm picking up here. Okay, something about a family wish could come true when you tap into that energy. Okay, so let's see, the card says breakthrough to new dimensions. A new endeavor is on the horizon. You see, this is what I was talking about. A new endeavor is on the horizon. Innovative energy wants to burst forth into your consciousness. So your spirit guides are saying it's the perfect time for you to be innovative, or to reinvent yourself, or yeah, to be kind of like innovative, or something about to see something in a new light is what I'm hearing. We also have the card here, keep going. It says, use the energy of any disappointment to fuel your creative project with authentic, or we have the word authenticity or authentic twice. It says, use the energy of any disappointment to fuel your creative project with authentic emotion. So for a lot of you guys, the spirit guides want you to know, keep going, you're almost there, because the Ten of Pentacles talks about completion, okay? Yeah, we have 10-10 here. Okay, so 10-10 could be a significant angel number, but I'm also seeing 2-2-2 here. Okay, there's something about your spirit guides want you to keep going. Don't drop the ball now. You're almost there. something about there's like a full circle moment on the horizon. There's a full circle moment on the horizon, or there's something about you are about to achieve your goals here. Right now, what you need to hear right now is keep going. You're almost there, is what I'm picking up here, okay? We also have the card here, mature man. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you are currently manifesting a mature partner. Does it make sense? But I also want to tell you guys something, and don't take it like personal, because let me tell you something. I'm very immature. Like, I am mature, but I also am very immature. Like, I have things that I need to work on. I'm going to be very honest. So when I say that, don't ever think that, oh, I'm super duper mature and I don't know, you know, I don't deal with it. I do, okay? But there could also be an energy where your spirit guides are preparing you for a very mature man or a very mature woman. Like, when it comes to, this is like a serious relationship. Does that make sense? Something about, this is a very, not that it is not funny, but I'm picking up the energy here of like, how can I explain that energy? Let me tell you something. So you maybe have been wishing for a lady, a gentleman, a real man, a real woman, whatever the heck that means to you. Or you have been wishing for like the real deal, like marriage, walking down the aisle, getting introduced to each other's family, moving in, this and that, this and that. You have been wanting the whole shebang. For others of you, if it's not that, if you already are in a connection or in a relationship, you maybe have been asking for the big success. You have been asking for the big money, the big bag. You have been asking for a bigger house. And your spirit guides are saying whatever you're asking for comes with big responsibilities, meaning that you have to be mature enough to handle whatever this energy is. Does that make sense? Kind of like almost to the point where your spirit guides, if I could describe the energy, they are preparing you to be a mature individual so that you can handle having a child or having a baby. Does that make sense? Or something about where you attract this very mature man, this very mature woman, but it also requires for you to let go of some childish behavior or does that make sense? And again, look at me. I'm very childish sometimes, and I'm also very immature, so no judgment here, okay? But there could be certain things that where you are making childish decisions, or kind of like where your spirit guides are saying you are growing out of like your old pairs of shoes. It's kind of like I'm being brought to like shoes. How can I explain that? It's like where you grow out of like a more lighthearted, immature, quotation marks, energy, and it's like when you go from puppy love to walking down the aisle, and marriage as dang. Did you hear that? Oh my god. Marriage, as beautiful as it sounds, or pregnancy, or moving in, or buying your own house, or having your own, you know, like company, or I don't know, like having your own assistant, as much as it sounds really cool, it also comes with a lot of responsibility. So what you're going through right now is actually preparing you for what you want, but it's preparing you to become a mature, like, or the most mature version of yourself at this point in time, so that you can handle it. You are asking for a big bag of money, but it also comes with responsibilities that you need to be able to handle. Like, you want to be a business owner, then you need to think like one and act like one and talk like one even before you have success. Does that make sense? If you want a serious man, a mature man and stuff like that, if you want a man that is, or a woman that is serious with you, that tells you I love you, you know, then you also need to be able to handle how much they're gonna love you. Does that make sense? Because, for example, I'm gonna be very honest, like back in the days, and this might be something that you're going through or you can relate to, but when I was younger, I felt very uncomfortable receiving like a hug or giving a hug, or even like saying I love you, or giving somebody a kiss. It was like very uncomfortable for me to experience all of that. Or sometimes I even feel this right now, where I listen to love songs and I'm like, oh my god, it's so corny, I need to like you know, I cannot listen to it. For example, this one song by John Legend, like all of me loves all of you. It's a beautiful song, but it's cringy. Like, I cannot like take it. It's too much for me. It's like too romantic, too corny, and it's like beautiful, but it's like when you ask for a whirlwind romance and this man or this woman comes into your life and they pour their heart out and they say that I love you, that you don't get scared. Does that make sense? Where you might be asking for true love in your future spouse, but you have to be like prepared, because maybe you get scared and then you run away and stuff like that. So your spirit guides want you to know you're basically being prepared for what you've been asking for, because I feel like you have been asking for something big with the 10 of Pentacles, either for a big bag of money, you want your own company, you want to be self-employed, you want to have your own house, you want to own property, you want to live by yourself, you want to travel across countries, or you literally want to be with the man or the woman of your dreams and walk down the aisle. But your spirit guides is saying they're basically making you like, they're preparing you for that, because again, it's like so that you don't get cold feet when this person like proposes to you, like, oh my God, this, I wanted this all my life, but now this person is in front of me and they want to, you know, like want to marry me, and now I look into the mirror and I don't even feel like I'm worthy of marriage. Does that make sense? This is the energy that I'm being brought to, and your spirit guides are saying keep going. They want you to know that everything that you're doing is only leading you to what you wish for. You wish for your man or your woman of your dreams, keep going with your self-love. You wish to manifest huge amounts of money, keep going, keep learning, okay? Keep learning and keep walking and talking and acting like a boss before you have your own company. Keep walking and talking and acting like you are, that you feel sexy and you feel desirable before somebody even desires you and finds you sexy. Does that make sense? This is what I'm being brought to here. Okay, we also have the card here, make a wish, and it says this is a magical moment, make a wish and enjoy its manifestation. So for a lot of you guys, what you need to hear right now is literally, maybe right now in this very moment, write it down in your journal. But what I want you guys to do is don't just ask for the wish, write down or say thank you, like thank you universe for making this wish come true. Or you write it down in your journal. Thank you, universe, for making this wish come true. And then you write down what your wish is. Okay, so you already thank the universe for making this wish come true. Okay, this is what your spirit guides want you to do right now. But they also want you to prepare yourself for the wish that you have. You know what you want. Prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Keep going, okay? Everything that you're doing right now is preparing you. So they're basically saying, keep going, keep up the great work. You're still in the preparation energy, but this is coming to a full circle moment here, okay? And you ask for the wish is manifesting, and the way you do your part is preparing yourself, okay? Whatever that means to you. If you ask yourself, how can I prepare myself for this marriage, this union, this CEO position, the self-employment, how can I prepare myself? And there you find the answer on what you can do next, okay? To kind of like gap the time or bridge the time between you here and you in the future, or where you want to be in the future, okay? That's what it feels like to me here, okay? We also have here the card safe travel, and it says keep me safe and let me roam far away but bring me home. So again, for a lot of you guys, you are about to travel, but your spirit guides want you to be prepared. The only word that I keep hearing is preparation. That's what I'm hearing here, okay? So let me see, let me get one last card here for you guys. Your reading was actually the shortest, so I'm not thinking like, what can I do for you guys? Okay, let's get one last card here. Your reading was the shortest, but it's very straightforward what your spirit guides want you. For some of you guys, your spirit guides might also want you to get more comfortable with your sexuality, because the image that you chose is like orange, and orange is for the sacral chakra. So for a lot of you guys, which is also the reason why I chose like this reddish orange color. So for some of you guys, the spirit guides might also be saying, the way you prepare yourself is somehow connecting to your sexuality, or expressing your sexuality a little bit more, or being comfortable with your naked body, being comfortable with your body. I'm literally seeing like somebody sitting in a sauna naked. Not that I'm seeing you naked, but I'm seeing like, I feel the energy of somebody sitting in a sauna naked, and they're one with their body, and they're one with their breath, and they're one with their body. So you basically prepare yourself for, you know, a sexy sex life. If that makes sense, I don't know. Let me see. Okay. for others of you, if you know that you have been having sex a lot recently and you didn't put that much focus on your career and your finance, your spirit guides might want you to find a balance between, okay, having a hot steamy night here, but I also work on my stuff so that I get to my goals. Okay, let me see. What does pile number 3, what does pile number 1 need to hear right now? What does pile number 1 need to hear right now? What does pile number 1 need to hear right now? Page of Swords in reverse. I'm hearing just do it. No, like something about don't just think it, do it. I don't know what this means. Something about you might be thinking, oh, I could do this, I could do that, but you're not doing it. So spirit might be saying, don't just think it, just do it. Or less thinking, more doing is what I'm hearing. Okay, with the Page of Swords here in reverse. One more. What do you want pile number 1 to know, or what's going on here? Yeah, the Hanged Man. You see, the Hanged Man is like a, but I think it's in reverse if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the same message here. Something about less thinking, more doing, or think less and do more, or something about like don't overthink it, just do it, or just try it out is what I'm hearing. Okay, because with the Hanged Man in reverse, for me this feels like because the Hanged Man in upright feels like you are supposed to be in an energy where you contemplate and see something from a different perspective. When it is in reverse, for me it almost feels like you are more than ready for this, or you are more than ready for you to explore this energy. Okay, so spirit might have been showing you signs to explore something, or to kind of like let go of something along the sense where you know, oh man, I should, you know, I kind of like where you know that you need to let go of something but you haven't done it yet, and your spirit guides are saying if you're ready and you let go of it, the energy is gonna gain momentum is what I'm hearing. Okay, do you know what I'm also hearing? If you feel like you have been in a lot of uncomfortable situations recently, your spirit guides are actually trying to teach you to feel comfortable in uncomfortable situations, because whatever you are asking about might feel a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning. Does that make sense? So they're letting you experience uncomfortable energy on a small scale so that you can handle uncomfortable situations on a bigger scale, because I do feel like what you're asking about is like big. It's not just small stuff. I feel like it's big stuff. Okay, something about you are being prepared for a big manifestation. That's what it feels like to me here, or like a big life change, a major life change. What do you want pile number 1 to know? Sorry if I call you guys pile number 3, but I do your reading the last today, that's why. Let's see, one last card. Yeah, 5 of Cups. Okay, so there's something about like I don't know how you say that in English. Something about, it's funny because it rhymes in my language, but it's something about happy is the person who forgets what cannot be changed. So the happiest person is the person who forgets what cannot be changed. So something about like not dwelling on something in the past because you cannot change it anyway. It only ruins your happiness right now. Does that make sense? Something about like happy is the person, again, it rhymes like perfectly in my language or in my native language. Happy is the person who forgets what cannot be changed. For some of you guys, because I don't want to be insensitive, it's so easy to say stuff like that, okay? For some of you guys, I'm even hearing, for others of you, it's the opposite. You have been trying to forget something very, very fast and not even look at it, but you have not been processing it. Does that make sense? Where for some of you guys, you have been looking at something in the past for too long and it's time for you to move on from that. It's kind of like, don't identify with it anymore. Don't make it part of your daily routine to think about it or to I don't know, like think about what you could have done better, because again, it's already in the past, and right now in this very moment is a gift. This present moment is a gift where you can make this change and you can be better. That's the moment where you can manifest success. You cannot manifest success in the past. Okay? And then for others of you, maybe you have been like running away from something that has happened and you have not been looking at it, but it's still in the back of your mind and it's still bugging you until you look at it and fully release it, okay? Because I want to tell you one thing. I wish I knew which book it was, but I remember this was like one of the loveliest books that I've read, but I have no idea the title of the book. Something about where it was about a king who was going on a travel. You see, we have safe travel. This king was going on a journey and he left his empire for a few months to go on this journey. And in the meantime, where he was traveling, there was a big monster that took over his throne, and it was like a big monster. And the village people, you don't call it, the citizens, okay? The citizens were like super duper mad about it, and they were like trying to scare this monster away from the throne. They were throwing stuff at him and cussing him out and stuff like that, or cussing this creature out. But the more hate or the more negative energy they were sending towards that creature, the bigger it grew, because it was feeding off of negative energy. And then the king came back at some point, and then he was asking his citizens what has happened. And then the citizens said, there's a big creature, this big creature overtook your throne. And then this king said, don't you know something about don't you know that negativity only becomes bigger if you feed it with negativity? Something about, then the king said, can you please send me, or can you please bring me a blanket and cookies and like a warm cup of milk? And people were looking at the king like, what the heck is he doing? And then the king was bringing cookies to the monster, putting a blanket on the monster, kind of like giving the monster like milk, and it grew smaller, because it's like it's kind of like when you cancel out redness in your face with green. Does that make sense? So if you have like a red tone, I don't know why I'm being brought to that, but I'm being brought to makeup. When you want to color correct, you don't color correct with the same color. Does that make sense? So if you want to color correct, you use green or orange to cancel out other colors. That's what it feels like to me here. So if you want to cancel out dark eye circles, you would not use a dark color, right? You would use a color that is the contrary to cancel it out. Does that make sense? This is what I'm being brought to, kind of like where you cannot fight negativity with negativity. You kind of like, I'm hearing, kill them with kindness, or something about like love actually heals the whole situation, and not more fighting. I don't know what this means, okay? This might mean something to you. I don't know which, oh, your spirit guides are here. I don't know which context, god damn it. I don't know which context that would make sense to you, but yeah, that's what I'm being brought to. Okay, let's get one last card here for you guys. Anything else you want pile number? Want to know? We have creative expression. That says God's divine creativity is expressed through your actions. So your spirit guides want you to act on your creativity, to keep it short and simple, okay? Something about the ideas that you're getting right now are directly connected to the home that you wish to manifest, the journey or the traveling that you wish to manifest, or the relocation that you wish to manifest, or the relationship or the partnership that you wish to manifest. It's all connected to the ideas, the creative ideas that you are receiving right here in this very moment, okay? Woo! Pile number one, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you like this reading. If you ask me if you are connected to another pile, I would say you are connected to pile number two, but you don't have to watch it, only if you wish to or if you think you want to, because my readings are super duper long. But thank you for your time. I love you guys. I'm going to see you in my next one. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number two. I'm actually starting with you guys today. And the funny thing is, I didn't notice it, but I felt like I wanted to change the color. And now I'm realizing you have this purple symbol. So purple could be a significant color in your life right now, or there could be an energy where your spirit guides are saying, I'm even picking up an energy here just for somebody when you know you have a departed loved one on the other side. May that be, you know, a grandpa, a grandma, an auntie, an uncle, somebody from your family that is on the other side. I'm hearing them saying that they communicate to you through the color purple, or they want you to especially notice the energy around anything purple. So purple right now in this very moment as you're watching this reading might be a significant color. They might be guiding you. For example, if you go out and you see somebody wearing a purple t-shirt, to especially pay attention to maybe the slogan on the t-shirt, or if you somehow go somewhere and you see kind of like the color purple, could just mean something significant. Even for example, if you pick up like a nail polish and you know the color is purple, and usually nail polish also has like a name, right? Or like a eyeshadow palette, and then the purple color has like a significant name or something along those lines. Or there could be an energy where your spirit guides are going to you know, want you to specifically listen or pay attention to somebody who wears purple. Does that make sense? So when you meet with somebody, you didn't tell them anything about, oh, I'm paying attention to the color purple, and then they wear the color purple on that day. They might be giving you an answer to your question, and they want you to specifically talk or listen to this person that wears the color purple. Or they might be wanting you to be aware of a person that wears the color purple a lot, or something along those lines. So there might be an energy where the person with the color purple is somehow your guide on that day with what they say. But there could also be an energy where the color purple might be warning you not to spend so much time with a person. So just see what the energy around the color purple is, okay? But anyway, let's begin your reading, guys. So I'm channeling the energy first, and then we're going to go into the cards, and I'm going to show you them here and there. So I want to ask you like a few questions, or I want to dive into what you're feeling right now so that you know this is your pile, okay? So, and the funny thing is, I feel like there's something very significant happening for you guys. Now, as I'm recording this reading, today is the 13th of June, and it's funny because we literally have that card combination here. Let me show that to you. So we literally have 6 and 13. Do you see that here? For some odd reason, there could also be an energy where your spirit guides are saying they are right now communicating to you very strongly through numbers that that you see very often. You might be noticing certain number combinations very often. It's like, why am I seeing this number freaking everywhere? It could literally be 613. Like, what does 613 mean? Like, I don't even know what you're trying to tell me. But there could be an energy where you see a particular number combination everywhere. It's following you. This could be even just randomly, like 127. Like, what the heck does 127 mean? So I'm not just talking about 444, 222. I'm talking about very weird combinations. You see 455 everywhere, like 455. So again, I'm not just talking about angel numbers. I'm talking about like weird number combinations that you might be noticing. You might also be seeing your birthday everywhere, or your birthday in numbers everywhere. You might be seeing other people's birthday everywhere, like in numbers when you're walking around, okay? Because again, the universe is somehow communicating to you through dates. So there's something about your spirit guides want you to know, the universe wants you to know, first of all, okay? Because I'm hearing like where the universe says numbers are a language itself, right? Because if we look at like IT or programming, how do you say that, programming programs or installing programs, or you know, in the IT industry where people program, how do you call that, like people program websites and videos, like in games and stuff like that. There's a lot of like numbers. So spirit is saying the language, excuse me, you might have a gift to understand the language of numbers, or spirit might be teaching you right now to understand the language of numbers. For example, again, there's certain people that the way the universe is guiding them is through colors. For other people, the way the universe is guiding them is through music. For other people, the way the universe is guiding them is through numbers. Because in essence, where does it all come from? From spirit, from the universe. The origin of everything is like the universe, right? When you, for example, notice like the golden ratio, or like, for example, in science, or in all kinds of like in geometry, in physics, there's a lot of energy when it comes to like repeating numbers and what numbers mean, and being very aware that certain numbers repeat themselves over and over and over again, kind of like where repeating numbers show a pattern. So basically it is the language of the universe if you understand numerology. And I'm not only, for some of you guys, Spirit wants you to know you have a gift of understanding numerology, or they might want you to dive a little bit deeper into it. For others of you, I'm not specifically talking about like just what numbers mean on the internet. Like when you Google the angel, not the angel number, but the life path number 1, 2, or 3. For some of you guys, the spirit guides want you to do that because it's bringing clarity to you. But for others of you, it might not even be that. It might even be like kind of like where there's a general meaning for certain numbers when you Google them and they make sense, but there's also like a unique meaning behind certain numbers that you see. Does that make sense? So for example, your spirit guides want to communicate to you that when you see the number, again, let's say 613, you know, when you see the number 613, it might mean something, and they might be trying to make you understand why you see certain numbers, because it's kind of like when the universe or your spirit guides want to communicate to you. For example, they want to say to you, you will be traveling soon, okay? For example, they want you to understand that you will be traveling soon, and they might be trying to communicate that to you through a number combination. Does that make sense? So when you see this number, every time you see this number, you think about traveling. When you put the puzzle pieces together, you're thinking about traveling. Every time you see this number, that means, oh, that number in my life as an individual means traveling. Does that make sense? They could also be communicating to you right now. It's interesting because your spirit guides, it's so funny because we have the card here, study. So your spirit guides, I'm picking up a strong energy where your spirit guides want to explain to you how they talk to you, or something about where they want you to, do you guys remember, because I'm being brought to like elementary school. I'm being brought to elementary school, and I remember how every time you wanted to, you know, like talk to somebody without other people understanding you, I literally remember how I did a whole alphabet, kind of like with hieroglyphs and ancient Egypt and stuff like that. And again, we come back to the origin of language, or the origin of communicating certain things to each other, right? Because we're just talking very randomly, or it's very natural to us that different people talk different languages and different dialects and stuff like that. But if you think about the origin of language, it's like super duper fascinating. How did it all begin? Like, just imagine how many languages there is and that we understand each other. But how did it all begin? It probably began with symbols, and it began with like, I don't know, like coming up with an alphabet and stuff like that, okay? Even thinking about the origin of the alphabet is just fascinating if you think about it. For me, for example, but I remember, or spirit is showing me, because we have a classroom here, which it all makes sense, okay? So spirit is bringing me back to when I was a child in elementary school, and I remember that I wanted to tell my friends secrets, but I didn't want other people to know what I'm telling them. So kind of like where I wanted to create a secret language that other people don't understand, so that I can very randomly like send messages or write something down and stuff like that. And I remember how I came up with a whole alphabet, and then I used it with my friends in elementary school, and nobody understood this language, but I understood it and my friends understood it because we talked about it. So spirit is bringing me to that. So I pick up a strong energy here where your spirit guides are teaching you a new way of communicating to them, or they have a new way of communicating to you. Again, there could be an energy where you notice that a color is everywhere, and your spirit guides want you to figure out why they highlight this color everywhere you go, or they want you to understand why you see this number combination everywhere. They want you to understand kind of like certain symbols and stuff like that that only make sense to you. This is like your secret way of communicating to your spirit guides, or the way the universe is communicating to you is very individual. Again, some people, they understand the universe through, I don't know, animals. Other people understand the universe through pictures that they see in clouds. Other people understand the universe through music, you know. But there's a specific energy where I pick up like your spirit guides, the way that they talk to you is through colors and through number combinations that you see everywhere or that are haunting you. Or this might be a new way that they are introducing, a new way of talking to you and, you know, making something clear to you. Does that make sense? So there's something about like your spirit guides want you to know, or what do you need to hear right now, is that you are now in the energy of getting to know. I'm hearing kind of like where you learn the alphabet of how the universe is communicating to you, or there might be a new way where the universe communicates to you differently than they did maybe like 2 or 3 years ago when you just started your, it's kind of like when you start your spiritual journey, you know, it's all about angel numbers and it's all about like, I don't know, it's like very simple, or the way the universe communicates to you is very simple. And I feel like you're going to the next level where the universe might be sending you more complicated messages, kind of like when you in elementary school learn the alphabet and then you start to form sentences. Does that make sense? So your spirit guides want you to know that there's something about like they want to like, this is what it feels like to me here. There's a strong emphasis on spirit guides, or the universe wants to talk to you like more fluidly, or they send you stronger messages. So now it's not just only angel number 111 that makes sense to you. Now certain, you know, like colors make sense to you, or certain number combinations make sense to you, but they only make sense to you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is probably about to start, where again your spirit guides have a way of communicating to you, but the way they communicate to you might be a little bit differently than when you started your spiritual journey. Does that make sense? So again, I feel like a strong energy here of, I don't know, because again, today is the 13th of June. We have here the 613, which is literally today. So there could be an energy where your spirit guides want you to know that today, as you click on this video, because for me it's 613 that I'm recording it, but it could also just mean that whenever you click on this video, this might be a significant day for you. There could be something significant happening, or you could be receiving a significant sign, okay? I'm also picking up a strong energy here of what your spirit guides, or what do you need to hear right now? Pile number 2. I feel like what you need to hear right now is that I'm picking up the energy where your spirit guides want you to know, because again, it's not in every tarot reading that I pay attention to numbers. Again, every tarot reader is different. Some people are very focused on numbers. I generally I don't focus on numbers, but in your reading, numbers seem to be very significant. We have a lot of angel numbers here. For example, we have the angel number 1717. We have the angel number 333 here. We have the combination of 613, which is today as I'm recording. There's a strong emphasis on numbers that make sense or mean something significant in your life. For example, there could also be an energy where wherever you go, you hear a month. Everywhere you go, you hear the month December. Every time you click on something, it's December. Every time you know, like watch a movie, the movie plays in December. Every time you somebody tells a story, or every time somebody tells a story, the story plays in December. Does that make sense? That's how the universe communicates to you. Kind of like they communicate to you through highlighting numbers, highlighting colors, and highlighting months. Okay, so they could also be an energy where your spirit guides want you to know the reason why they pay so much, or they put so much emphasis on that right now. Because again, I don't always talk about numerology, because for me, the way I use numerology is what my spirit guides want to tell me with that number, and not necessarily what I find on the internet. But what is on the internet is also very valid. So it depends on what is happening in your life right now. But the fact that they put so much emphasis on numbers tells me that they might be trying to communicate something to you that is very significant. Does that make sense? For example, they want you to know that in December something big is happening, and they want you to prepare yourself, which is the reason why you hear December, 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 December everywhere, because they want to catch your attention like, hey, are you ready for December? Does that make sense? That's what it feels like to me here. So what you need to hear right now is pay close attention to numbers, but again, these numbers seem to mean dates, okay? So when you see 7/12 everywhere, that could mean like the 7th of December, or it could mean the 12th of July. Could somehow be significant. For some of you guys, your spirit guides actually want you to have a book where you write synchronicities down, or where you write down what you see over and over and over again. Does that make sense? So for some of you guys, the spirit guides want you to know in this new energy that you're entering, because I almost want to say you are entering not just a new chapter in your life, but I feel like you're entering a new chapter in your life when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to decoding signs, or when it comes to like the way the universe communicates to you, okay? So there could be an upgrade in your psychic abilities, but there could also be an upgrade in like instead of just seeing a bird, which is a beautiful sign, spirit might be talking to you through like color combinations and through numbers and stuff like that. You know those people that can taste, I think they can taste colors, and they know what sounds, the color for sounds. Does that make sense? That's what I'm being brought to. I'm being brought to like people that know what a color tastes like, or the number of a color, or something along those lines, because I'm being brought to Pharrell Williams. I think he has that ability to somehow know which color a note has in music, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm also hearing the song Happy by Pharrell Williams, so that could be a significant song in your life right now. I'm also hearing something about a hot air balloon, because you talk something about, okay, you see, now I'm channeling, guys. I'm all over the place. I'm being brought to like a hot air balloon that could go to space with the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Okay, so I'm also picking up the energy where the signs that you might be receiving, you might be like, what in the world is happening here? I don't know what all these signs mean, but they're basically like announcing that you are entering a very happy phase in your life. But again, I also pick up an energy where your spirit guides want you to know you're entering a new chapter in your life when it comes to your spirituality, okay? So again, it's not just, oh, I see the number 444 as an angel number. Now spirit is showing you numbers that only make sense to you, as if you have a secret language between you and the universe, between you and your spirit guides. Does that make sense? So for another person, the angel number or the number 712 doesn't make any sense, but to you it makes a lot of sense. Does that make sense? Because you connect the dots between, oh, I see 712 everywhere, and I'm also hearing the month December everywhere. So again, for some of you guys, what you need to hear right now is you need a book, or you need a journal where you write down the synchronicities that you see. Because when you write them down, they're going to make more sense, or it's time for you, because it's almost this energy where spirit is saying, do you know what I'm being brought to? I'm being brought to a phone conversation. And it's like as if spirit is calling you. It could be like a particular spirit guide, okay? It could. I'm also being brought very, very strongly to a grandpa or a father or a male energy that has passed away and is on the other side, that is speaking right now, or that wants to bring this information to you. So the energy, if I could describe the energy, for me this feels like as if spirit is on the other side of the phone, or your spirit guides, or the universe, whatever you want to call it, or maybe your departed grandpa, and your departed grandpa or this energy is saying to you, do you have a paper and a pen? That's what I'm hearing. Do you have a paper and a pen? It's almost as if your spirit guides want you to be ready to have a paper and a pen, because they are about to send you signs that only make sense when you write them down. Or again, there could be an energy where a lot of things are going to make more sense to you as you write them down, okay? So for some of you guys, what you need to hear right now is you need a journal that is particularly for you, the signs that you are receiving, or you are about to get a download about something and they want you to have a pen and a paper ready. Have it next to your bed, or take something with you, or make sure that you have like an app on your phone where you can write down very fast what is coming through, because again, there is almost this energy where spirit is again calling you, and spirit is asking you, do you have a pen and a paper? I'm about to tell you something significant, kind of like where you need a pen and a paper to write down a telephone number, because if you say, oh, I don't need a pen and a paper to write the telephone number down, and then you forget the telephone number, and you know, it's a whole mess and stuff like that. That's what I'm being brought to, kind of like in a movie where somebody is so self-assured that they don't have a pen and a paper, and then they forget the number that was so significant that they were supposed to kind of like I don't know, call or whatever. Okay, so for some of you guys, there might actually be an energy where you are about to exchange numbers with somebody, okay, or you recently have exchanged numbers with somebody. For some of you guys, I'm also hearing, if you have a business card, or if you have like a card with you, or if you have a business, I'm seeing your spirit guides are saying, it's just for somebody in particular, this is going to be a long reading, I hope you guys are ready. If you have a business card, or if you have your own website, I'm seeing that spirit wants you to create a business card that you have with you. You are about to get approached by somebody. Yeah, most definitely. You are about to get approached by somebody and they will want to have your information, kind of like, do you have a website? Can I contact you? And stuff like that. So be sure that you have your business card, or that you have your website ready, or that you have like, I'm also hearing that you have a business email so that it is more professional, because you are about to get contacted, or somebody is about to approach you asking you for your contact or for your website, and it comes off more professional if you have a business card. Something along those lines is what I'm picking up here, okay? And for some of you guys, the spirit guides are saying it's time to upgrade your logo or your brand or your slogan or something along those lines. This is very like all over the place. Anyway, let me come back because I can channel for days. But yeah, I'm also hearing somebody here recently has been in the hospital, or you have been visiting somebody in the hospital is what I'm picking up here. Okay, for others of you, the signs that you have been receiving want to tell you that you need to take better care of your health. Okay, something about like you succeed and thrive and shine, because not everybody is like that. Some people can eat like crap and they still you know, they still celebrate their 102nd birthday. But some people and they still thrive and shine. Like, some people still thrive and shine even though they eat like shit, but you're not the type of person, or the way your soul and your spirit and your body is designed is where you thrive when you eat healthier, or when you are hydrated, or something along those lines. So for a lot of you guys, the signs that you have been receiving, they have been telling you that you need to get your health ready for something big to happen. Does that make sense? Something about like get your health ready, or somehow I'm hearing something about I am back in shape. So for some of you guys, the signs have been saying or trying to tell you that it's time for you to get back in shape, because you're literally preparing for the next stage or phase in your life, okay? Is what I'm picking up here. We also have here the card shine bright like a candle. Okay, so for some of you guys, the spirit guides might be saying that you thrive and shine when you do candle magic. For some of you guys, you have been drawn to candle magic, and your spirit guides are saying they want you to actually explore. Again, everybody has a different gift. It's interesting because it's almost as if your spirit guides or God wants to highlight what works for you, okay? Something about you need to know what works for you, because you only feel lost if you don't know what works for you, right? You might be trying out a technique that doesn't work for you, and because you try out a technique that doesn't work for you is the reason why you sometimes feel lost. You only feel lost when you don't know what works for you, right? But in order to know what works for you, you try out different things, and then you know, oh, kind of like where you have like a list. You study what works for my body, what works for my mind, what works for my spirit. Does that make sense? So there's also something about what your spirit guides are trying to tell you, or what you need to hear right now, is that you need to know yourself in and out. If you know yourself in and out, that's when you succeed. okay? Your formula to success, may that be in love and weight loss and money and whatever you want to manifest in your life, is that you know what works for you, okay? Because if you know what works for you, you cannot be misguided, or you're not gonna feel, I mean, it's always, life is not like, life will never be perfect, but you will find it easier to navigate through maybe confusion or through uncertain times or the unknown if you know what works for you, or if you know what brings you. It's kind of like where you know what works for you, basically. Kind of like somebody, like, just imagine you are like a hero in a movie, or you need to know your special abilities, or you need to know what works for you, because again, then it's going to be easier. I'm not saying perfect, but it's going to be easier to navigate through the world, and because the world can be very confusing, right? So many opinions, so many techniques, so it's very important to know what works for you and what you are good at, or what your special ability is, because everybody also, even in spirituality, everybody has a different story. Some people found the universe through nature. Other people found the universe through going through a lot of pain. Does that make sense? So everybody has a different way of manifesting. Everybody, although the core is the same, but everybody has a different way of, you know, kind of like finding health, finding happiness, finding joy, feeling content. So I feel like your spirit guides want you to know how you work, or what works for you. And they're telling me that I pick up a strong energy that you are really good at candle magic, or something about the element fire. I'm seeing the element water, and I'm seeing the element fire, okay? So again, it's almost this energy of like, I'm hearing, do you know what I'm hearing? And you guys all know that in a lot of movies, especially like in Disney movies, there's always this like, this scene in a, sorry guys, I need a little bit of water here because I'm talking a lot, so give me a moment. So I don't even know what I just said, but anyway. So Spirit is also highlighting candle magic, or working with candles, meaning that, for example, you somehow use a candle to manifest something, you use a candle to cleanse the energy, you use a candle for focus, kind of like where you buy a candle, and you can do this by yourself. You don't have to kind of like get a candle from Etsy and stuff like that. Maybe even if you tell me you don't have the money or the funds to always buy candles, just do it on your own. Where you buy a candle, you take a piece of paper, and then you write down, this candle is bringing me focus, this candle helps me to stay committed, this candle brings love to me. Something about you lighting candles is very significant, or it's going to help you a lot. Again, there's something about where your spirit guides want you to know what works for you, because with the Two of Swords, there's two energies, right? There's one sword that is in a blue color and one sword that is in a red color, which tells me that what you need to hear right now is that everything that you have been going through the last couple of weeks and months and days is all about you noticing the difference between, oh my God, I feel so empowered, I feel so optimistic, I feel so great in this environment with that energy, with the candle flame, with this color. If I eat less or if I eat more, that's when I feel really freaking good, because I pick up a strong energy where you maybe have been going through mood swings, or you have been noticing that sometimes your energy is very high and then it is very low, or sometimes you manifest a lot and other times you don't manifest anything at all. Does that make sense? Where you have been noticing like a fluctuation, maybe even in weight, or maybe even in like your energy, that sometimes you feel freaking amazing and other times you feel like absolute shit, which is normal. But I feel like it has been like a big, like where you feel almost like ecstasy and you feel like unstoppable and you feel like you can conquer the world, and then other times you feel like you are in the deepest depression. So it's not like normal fluctuation, I feel like it's big fluctuations. Or again, sometimes your performance at work is like outstanding and other times you really fuck up and stuff like that. There's something going on where I feel like you have been going through a lot of like ups and downs, or you have been I'm hearing you have been experiencing the extremes of both, feeling so happy that it almost feels criminal, kind of like, oh my God, I'm so happy it feels criminal, because a lot of people don't feel happy, or you feel so happy that you want to dance and sing and jump, and I don't know, like you feel like you can conquer the world and you feel so much bliss and like a newborn baby. And then other times, on the contrary, you also feel like you don't want to do anything, you just want to be in your bed, you don't want to talk to anybody. And again, it's not just, oh, I need a few days for myself, it's literally like almost as if it feels like a depression, or as if it feels like a really, really dark hole, as if you experience extreme light and also extreme darkness, is what I'm picking up here. Now, your spirit guides want you to know that the reason you have been going through that, because you might be telling me, Cynthia, sometimes I don't understand. Hold on, I'm just checking what's going on here. You might be telling me, Cynthia, sometimes I don't understand why the universe is letting this happen to me. Like, why am I feeling so bad? Why is the universe like making me experience that? Okay, and let me tell you why. It's in order for you to understand, don't eat this pizza. If you eat this pizza, you're gonna feel like shit. So your spirit guides are not going to encourage you eating this pizza if it makes you feel like shit. They're not going to make you feel good or make sure that you feel good when they want you to stop eating junk food. If junk food is not good for you, because again, for some people, their body, maybe for them it's more important to drink than to eat healthy, but other people, they need to eat healthy. Like, everybody's body is different, you know, or everybody's like journey is different. For some people, they maybe have mastered eating healthy in their past life, so this lifetime it's not significant for them. But for you in this lifetime, it's very significant for you to pay attention to your health, or eat healthy, or drink more. And I'm not saying perfect, guys, okay? I'm not telling you go vegetarian, go vegan, and be completely perfect and stuff like that. I'm just letting you know, kind of like where you know, okay, today I did something good for my health. Does that make sense? Where you can go to bed with a good conscience, knowing that you ate an apple, you ate raspberries, you ate strawberries, you made sure that you drank enough, or that you notice the symptoms and the signs your body is giving you when your body is speaking to you, okay? So your spirit guides want you to know the reason why you have been going through these extremes is because they wanted you to know both sides of the coin, because I'm being brought to kind of like, I'm a Libra, for example. So they wanted you to know that don't do this because that's the result of you doing that. Or maybe you didn't, you know, I don't know, you didn't pray last night. Just an example, okay? There's no judgment here, but for some people it's important for them to pray daily or to journal daily in order for them to feel good. For other people, it doesn't do anything for them, but for you it's important. Does that make sense? Or to read every day. So if you have been feeling like absolute shit, that means that you have not been doing something that your soul needs. Does that make sense? So, for example, if your soul is very, very happy, or if your spirit is uplifted every time you pray, and then for a long time you don't pray, you're gonna feel like absolute shit, because the universe is showing you, hey, you didn't pray, or you didn't journal, or you didn't hydrate. So that's the result of it, okay? Not because they're punishing you, and not because you are not protected. It's just showing you like, hey, you need to be aware not to do this. It's kind of like, you know, where you teach a child that when they put their hands on the plate, on the hot stove, that they get burned, okay? So spirit cannot protect you from getting burned. They can just teach you, hey, you get burned, or you burn yourself when you touch the hot stove, but they cannot protect you from doing it. Does that make sense? So what your spirit guides want you to know is what you have been going through is not you being lost, or you not being on the wrong path, you not being on the right path. This is also not to kind of like punish you, or it's not like your protection is gone or something along those lines, because for some of you guys, you might have felt like you don't feel protected, or you don't understand why you go through certain struggles. But again, your spirit guides are saying it's because they want you to take note what works for you and what does not work for you, okay? So again, there's something about, if you know what works for you, it's gonna be so easy for you, or easier for you to navigate through life, okay? You notice on the days where you eat less, you have more energy, then do more of that. On other days where you eat more, you feel more sluggish and you're less productive. that is telling you like, hey, that's how I'm working. Because some people, when they eat a lot, they get a lot of energy. Other people, if they eat a little bit less, because they don't feel so full, that's when they get a lot of energy. Some people get energy from going to the gym. Other people get energy from meditating. So there's something about, you need to know what works for you, so that you cannot be misguided by other people, or that other people kind of like push their agenda, or push like, do what I say. When another person comes to you, this is what works for me, so you should do this too, and then it doesn't work for you, and then you get frustrated and you think, oh my god, I'm doing everything wrong, when it's just not your technique, or your body and your soul was not designed. Because if you think about it, why did the universe make our fingerprints so unique? Because there's a unique story to everybody. There's a unique way of living for everybody, even if it's in some cases it's kind of like the same, where we all want happiness and love and money and stuff like that, and companionship, but we still all have a different journey, even in spirituality. Okay. Yeah, so your spirit guides want you to know they have been doing all of that because they wanted you to notice the contrast. Does that make sense? Because if you always feel good, they wanted you to notice the contrast between I feel good here and here I don't feel good, because it's kind of like a navigation system. So they have been fine-tuning your GPS, they have been fine-tuning your navigation system by making you experience both sides of the coin, so that you know what to avoid and what to do more of. That's what it feels like to me here, okay? They wanted you to understand how your soul and your spirit is working, and you might be still in that energy here, okay? For some of you guys, I'm also picking up an energy here where, because we have the courage here, or the card courage, it says sugar glider. Okay, and with this card, I also want to ask you a question, because I pick up a strong energy here. Again, you see, I'm trying to hydrate. I'm trying to make sure that I drink enough, so this might be a sign for somebody here. I'm also hearing, this is going to be significant for somebody here. But I'm also hearing your skin is gonna get better when you drink more. So somebody here had problems with their skin, and I'm not a doctor, okay? So take it with a grain of salt. This is a general reading, but I'm hearing somebody here, your skin is going to get better when you drink more, okay? Is what I'm picking up here. Or your skin is gonna get better when you change your diet, okay? Because I'm hearing the way your skin looks is an inside job as well as an outside job. Does that make sense? So you can put all kinds of like products on your skin, but if you don't eat good, or if you don't make sure that you're hydrated, or do something good for your skin with the way that you eat, you kind of like you don't enhance what you put outside of your skin. So you enhance the effect of what you put outside on your skin by the way that you eat, or something about, I'm hearing somebody here, you're gonna notice a lot of big changes with your skin when you drink more or eat healthier, okay? This is just for somebody. But I'm picking up an energy here where a lot of you guys, you have been trying to, I feel a strong energy where you want to do a lot of things, okay? And I feel like what has been holding you back is that you don't feel courageous enough to do so. So for a lot of you guys, you have been noticing, for the next things that I want to experience, the next things that I want to do in my career, in my love life, with my social life, what I need is more courage. Picking up a strong energy where a lot of you guys, maybe you have been feeling a little bit more fearful than usual, or you have been noticing for the next things that you would like to do, you need more courage. You cannot be this fearful, or that fear is holding you back from doing a lot of things that your soul and your spirit wants to experience. Okay, a lot of you guys, the spirit guides want you to know this is a beautiful conclusion that you came to. So if you realize, I'm very fearful of doing certain things, that also means you know what to do. Right? There's something about, I'm hearing you know what to do. If you think about what is holding you back from certain things, you also know what to do. And then your spirit guides are also saying, okay, fear is a big word. And they want you to understand where the fear comes from, but also they want you to understand or look at maybe moments in your life where you were not fearful. Does that make sense? Because everybody has different fears, right? Some people are not fearful to, I don't know, socialize. Other people are. So people also have different fears. So I'm picking up an energy where your spirit guides are saying they also want you to look at moments in your life where you were very courageous, and what was different on that day, in that week, in that month, where you had the courage to do something. For some of you guys, you used to be a very courageous person. You were very bold in your past, and somehow you kind of lost your courage, or you lost your fierceness, and your spirit guides want you to return, or God wants you to return to this bold, fierce energy. And then the question is, in that moment where you felt bold and courageous to do something, what made you feel so courageous and so bold? Or what do you think makes people courageous and bold to do something? To kind of like analyze again where your fear comes from, but not that you stay stuck like, oh, this is what brings me fear. You know, what do you do with that information, right? But they also want you to see again both sides of the coin, where what brings you courage and what brings you fear, and then use that information to your advantage. Something about to find out what makes you courageous, okay? Not everybody else and their mama, what makes you courageous, or what makes you feel peaceful, or what makes you feel empowered, okay? Because there's a secret formula for everybody. You just have to know how your soul and your spirit and even how your body or your mind is working, okay? Because again, we have the contemplation time, and we already talked about it. That's what your spirit guides want you to do. If you have been asking yourself, why am I alone? Why am I single? Why am I not finding my soul tribe? Why am I not finding friends? You know, I'm hearing friends for a lifetime. Okay, I'm seeing here somebody you are, if you have been wishing for a best friend, I'm seeing it manifesting here, because I just saw SpongeBob and Patrick, and I saw the best friends forever ring. Okay, somebody here also has been recently buying jewelry, or you have been thinking about buying jewelry. Or your spirit guides are gonna send you a sign because they want you to buy like a piece of jewelry. But this piece of jewelry is going to act like a charm or like an amulet, or there's a lot of good energy in this chain, in this ring, in these earrings, in this bracelet. But you're about to see that. So there might be a sign around a jewelry that your spirit guides want you to buy. And for others of you, you already bought new jewelry. And for others of you, there's also something about a ring. Okay, could be a ring, could be significant here. I'm also hearing somebody here, your grandparents, they gave you a ring. Somehow it's significant, or a piece of jewelry from your grandparents. I'm being brought to that, and they want you to wear that. Even if you don't wear it on your body, to put it in your bag, because it protects you, is what I'm picking up here, okay? So the reason why I also saw some of you guys on my Patreon, you wanted to know why you have been single for so long, okay? And I want to talk a little bit about that, but I think I might actually do a reading for that in particular on Patreon. I'm not sure, but I heard you guys, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about it. I'm also seeing parrots here, could be a significant spirit animal. So the card here says contemplation time. Spend time alone meditating upon what you truly desire. Okay, so the reason why you have been single, or the reason why you have not yet found your soul tribe, or the reason why it's not that easy for you to find like-minded people, is because of everything that I just said. The whole reading that I just described, everything that I just described, is because how do you attract people who are your perfect match if you don't know who you truly are, or what works for you 100%? Does that make sense? So it's kind of like the energy, because I pick up a strong energy here where with the mature woman, I feel like you are entering a new chapter in your life, okay? This year, especially June, okay, especially the month June, June and July are significant months for you, but also 2023. Okay, so I pick up a strong energy here where 2023, this year, or whenever you click on this video, this year marks the year where you really enter a new chapter. But that also means that you are not the same person you used to be 3 years ago. Okay. So you're not the same person that you used to be 3 years ago. So there's something about, I'm picking up the energy where the new version of yourself is still developing. Like just imagine like when you install a program on the computer, I'm seeing like under construction or still in the process, or as if the new version of you is still downloading. Does that make sense? So the reason why you have not yet met the people that are a perfect match to you, and I'm talking about a perfect match, like these people are just, you just vibe with each other, you understand each other without speaking, you understand each other with just body language. But the reason why you have not yet matched or found the perfect match, and I think it's about to happen, because I literally just saw like a best friend or like a new friend coming in. And the best friend does not only mean like platonic, it can also mean you find the perfect business partner, or you meet your true love and your soulmate and your twin flame. Okay, because again, best friend can be your partner, but it can also be like a person from the same sex, or somebody that you're about to be working with, or just a new friend. But I'm seeing like a new person is coming into your life. This is all going to happen within the next couple of weeks, because again, I'm picking up the energy where the new version of yourself is still downloading. So you're still, the bar is not showing 100% yet, and the time that you're spending by yourself is really about finding foot or being very firm and very rooted in the new version of yourself. Okay, so you might be still bouncing back to old habits, you might be still bouncing back to an old way of thinking, and it feels like a transition from your old self and your new self, kind of like where I'm even picking up the energy here where some of you guys, if I could describe the energy, kind of like where you used to do yoga. Okay, I'm just going to give an example. You used to do yoga for the last, let's say, I don't know, 3 years. Okay, the last 3 years, the last 2 years you've done yoga, and it worked so well for you, and you somehow found a way to identify yourself with that, right? Because you know, if you like yoga, that also means that you're gonna maybe vibe with people that also do yoga, right? That's how you find your soul tribe. That's how you find the people that are meant for you. That's how you find the people that are gonna keep you company as you do all of the things that you love. So you've done yoga for the last 2 years, just an example, okay? You've done yoga for the last 2 years, and now you're realizing that you're not as passionate about yoga anymore, okay? And you might be still forcing yourself to like it. You might be still forcing yourself to do it every day, although the passion is not there anymore. That's what I mean when I say still holding on to the past version of yourself. Does that make sense? So you're still holding on to the past version of yourself, although you know it doesn't fulfill you anymore, or it doesn't give you the same kick anymore, or you don't find that it works for you anymore. Okay, so maybe now, instead of holding on to your yoga practice, maybe the time is now, because you identified with it. So if you detach from it, then the question is, who am I? Now I don't do yoga anymore, so who am I now? Like, I don't have anything that identifies me. Does that make sense? Or your favorite color. You don't feel comfortable, or you don't like your favorite color anymore. So now it's like, okay, if my favorite color is not orange anymore, then what is my favorite color? Because I've been identifying with this color and now I don't know. It's kind of like you are still in the air, not rooted in your new favorite color, not rooted in your new routine, not rooted in your new favorite activity. Does that make sense? So now, instead of doing yoga, you maybe find that you like to lift weights, or you like to go for a run. You know, that's like the new chapter of your life. It's more about a new hobby or a new skill, or like something new where you identify with new things. Okay, so that could also be the reason why you feel stagnant, because there could be an energy where you feel stagnant energy, but again, it is because your soul and your spirit does not feel as fulfilled anymore with those old energies, with those old ways of living, with those old ways of eating. Okay, and that is the reason why you have been feeling stagnant, because you know you're gonna find a new passion, a new fire, like a new passion for life as you explore that new hobby, right? So you used to do yoga, it doesn't fulfill you anymore, it doesn't really do it for you anymore. Now you look, okay, what is my spirit telling me? Like, what do I feel drawn to? If I don't identify with that energy anymore, then what is my soul leading me to? You know, all of a sudden you find yourself that you are more drawn to, again, going for a run. So then you notice, oh, I really get a kick out of it, like it's challenging me. Because for some of you guys, let me tell you something. For some of you guys, pile number 2, if you have not yet noticed, you might be thinking, and it's not going to be for everybody, but you might be thinking that you like to be comfortable. But to be very honest with you guys, I feel like your soul and your spirit likes challenges, or you actually get high of overcoming challenges and overcoming obstacles. So your spirit guides want you to know that you might be thinking you like to be in your comfort zone, or you might be thinking then that you like not to be challenged, or that you avoid challenges. But you might be, how can I explain that? So for me, it feels like for some of you guys, the truth is that you get a kick and a high of overcoming obstacles and challenges. So it's basically like your soul is craving challenges. Does that make sense? So when you fulfill this craving for a challenge, that's when you get a new kick and a new passion inside of your soul and your spirit. And that's also when your life starts to move forward again. Does that make sense? Because you might be stagnant because you're not challenging yourself anymore. And I'm also not saying that you put huge challenges on yourself that scare you, but maybe just, like a 1 week challenge, a 2 week challenge, or kind of like where you challenge yourself to do something differently each weekend. Something about where your soul and your spirit is craving challenges, and maybe you have not been, you have not been really giving into that craving for challenges, or you have not even been noticing that you actually crave challenges, okay? But challenges that you give to yourself, you can be creative and give yourself a challenge, and you get high of overcoming obstacles, and you get high of overcoming challenges, okay? That's the way your soul and your spirit is built. So there might be a need for you to go out and find new challenges for yourself, and to really embrace the new you. Because again, I feel like you have been bouncing back. Like sometimes you're the new version of yourself, and sometimes you go back to old habits, or you go back to an old way of living, or you go back to like old stuff that you used to do, but it doesn't really fulfill you anymore. But you still think it fulfills you, but then you find yourself being sad because it doesn't, if that makes sense, okay? Because we have here rediscover. It says mermaid in a koi pond. So the spirit animal fish, or like fishes, or Pisces energy could be also significant in your life right now. Or just the water, the element water and the element fire. So it says mermaid in a koi pond, and it says rediscover your individuality, become the dragon, you see? So it's kind of like where you are in the energy of rediscovering yourself, because I'm hearing, and I don't want to be insensitive, but I'm hearing you're getting older, or you're just entering a new chapter in your life, which means that a lot of stuff, you're not identifying with it anymore. So now you are on a journey to find new stuff that you identify with. Does that make sense? And once you find the new stuff that you identify with, that also means now these new people can come in. Does that make sense? Because if you still identify with the old stuff, although you're not really happy with it, you're also gonna attract people that are somehow connected to the old stuff. So you might be attracting people, the same people that you did in the past, which you don't want. You want to attract new people, right? You want to attract a new man and a new woman with new energy. But if you still embrace old energy, you might be attracting old people, or like people from your past. If you have been asking yourself, let me tell you something. If you have been asking yourself, why am I seeing all of these people from my past? Why am I attracting old lovers? Why am I attracting old people? It is because you sometimes still embrace the old version of yourself, which is the reason why people from the past come back, because you're still in that energy. Once you embrace the new energy is when you attract your new soul tribe members, if that makes sense, okay? So now I am just going to read out the cards, because I think I already talked a lot here. Okay. So again, we have the angel number 333. Spirit wants you to know every time you see the angel number 333, okay, whatever you're thinking about in that moment when you see the angel number 333 is a green light, or your spirit guides are saying whatever you're thinking about. As you see, the angel number 333 means success. What you think about is connected to success. As you see, the angel number 333. Also have here the angel number 1717 is also connected to your success. And we have the angel number 3636, you see. So it's not just angel numbers that are 111. We literally have like very weird number combinations here. But again, angel number 3636 means that you are close to success. And I'm also being brought, I think there was like a full moon or a new moon on the 3rd of June. Something about June and July are going to be very significant months for you. Okay, so angel number 3636, angel number 1717, something about the 13th of June. Maybe there was something significant happening on the 13th of June, because this is what, like, this is today basically, but as you're watching it, it's gonna be past, like, you know, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, maybe something significant has happened on June the 13th. There could also be something significant taking place on the 17th of June, which I think is around new moon energy. Okay, because we also have the 1717 here. So we have here with the study card, it says, let my mind be clear and strong. Let me study well and long. Okay. We also have here, safe and surrounded by love. Keep your heart open and know you are being protected. So angel number 333, 3636 and 1717 also mean that you are protected. These are your numbers that tell you there's strong protection around you. Listen to what you know to be true and allow yourself to see and understand what is going on around you. And then we have here, rediscover your individuality, become the dragon. And every time I hear the word dragon, it always reminds me of Kung Fu Panda, where he becomes the dragon warrior. So that could also be significant here for some of you guys. The Kung Fu Panda movie series, you know, like Kung Fu Panda could be significant here, or you maybe have been seeing a lot of pandas as your spirit animal. Okay, and then we have here energy. It says, a light inside my fire divine. You see, so it's kind of like your energy was lukewarm. Okay, your energy was lukewarm the last couple of months and weeks, and your spirit guides, they want you to ignite a new fire, a new passion, like where you fire up, or like where the torch is being lit. Yeah, kind of like the energy. Yeah, that's why people say I'm feeling lit, right? Or something was lit. Something about your spirit guides want you to, or the universe, God wants you to light a new fire inside of your soul and your spirit. Okay, with something that you challenge yourself with, or with reinventing yourself, with rediscovering yourself. Okay, so it says, a light inside my fire divine, energy fill me, make me shine. Okay, we also have here contemplation time. Spend time alone, meditating upon what you truly desire. And then we have success. Congratulations, you did it. Okay, I feel like maybe you have come to a conclusion on something about, listen to me, I also feel like there's something about June and July where success is coming to you in the month of June and July, because of you fully understanding what is going on within you, and because you finally understand what works for you and what doesn't work for you, is what I'm picking up here. Okay, or something about where you fully understand energy, or where you fully understand yourself, and again how you work, and what makes you perform very high, what brings your performance down, whatever the heck that means to you. May that be manifesting love, socializing, money. Okay, so with the card here, success, congratulations, you did it. I want to tell you one last thing. Do you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing that your spirit guides know you, or God knows you, the universe knows you, and even like this ancestor or this departed loved one that takes care of you, because we have the card here, shine bright like a candle, and it says you will make it through this. Okay, so you could feel like life is a little bit challenging right now, because you might be feeling lost, because you might be feeling fearful, but you are in the middle of changing that. You're already transforming to become the dragon, to become the dragon warrior again, kind of like in Po, or like Po in Kung Fu Panda. but it says you will make it through this. So what I'm hearing here is that your spirit guides, they don't even worry about you because they know you can do it. It's kind of like as if God or the universe or your spirit guides, they know you in and out. So it's kind of like your story, or your story called life, like your life story is already stored in your DNA. So that means they already know that you're gonna overcome whatever you're going through right now, so they don't even worry about it. So they already think to themselves, oh, pile number 2 maybe needs a few more days or a few more weeks, but they're overcoming it. So they don't even worry about you. Your spirit guides don't even worry about you because they know what will happen 2 or 3 months from now. So they're telling you whatever you think you cannot overcome, they know that it's kind of like they don't worry about you because they already know the version of you that you will be 3 months from now. So they don't worry about you, if that makes sense, okay? Something about God or the universe knows you in and out to the point where they don't worry about you. Kind of like when you have a child and you know how your child works. And because you know how your child works, you don't worry about them because you know they will get back on track again. That's what it feels like to me here. Or you know that your child is very strong and you don't worry about your child. That's what I'm picking up here, okay? And then the last card that we have here is holding on way too tight. So again, this energy could be feeling like you're still holding on to something from the past and your spirit guides are saying, let it go. I don't know what it is. It could be a habit. It could be a way of thinking. It could be a morning routine that your spirit guides want you to let go of. They want you to let go of an evening routine. They want you to stop watching trash TV, you know, or to somehow let go of something that you know is holding you back, okay? For a lot of you guys, I feel like it is a habit, or it's multiple habits, or it's just a way of like a lifestyle. I feel like it's a lifestyle, or it's like where you force yourself to like something even though you don't like it, or even though it doesn't, where you're forced to. It's kind of like where something made you happy and you still try to find the same happiness or the same happiness in that environment, even though it doesn't really do it for you anymore. Like you used to get so high off of eating ice cream, but now if you eat ice cream, the happiness is just mediocre. Does that make sense? Something used to be like so exciting, but now it's mediocre. So your spirit guides are saying, go out and find something new that excites you. You need this fire inside of your soul and your spirit to conquer this or to overcome this obstacle, or to conquer this energy or this stagnancy, okay? So again, to let go of the old and welcome the new. Okay, because if you see that this one says here holding on way too tight, and here's like he's letting go of everything, like, okay, I'm letting go of everything and I'm just, you know, exploring all things new. Okay, may that be diet, morning routine, evening routine, what you do on the weekend, the way that you dress, what you focus on, new passion. Like, for example, one last thing that I want to tell you guys, just imagine you go on a dating app and you have to like put keywords into your bio, what you are interested in. I feel like you're still in limbo of, these are my old interests, but is it really my interest, or am I just, you know, like maintaining it because I identify with it, but I don't really feel it anymore. So you used to be very into drawing, but now you're more into skincare and self-care and like hair care. So you would have to change your bio on the internet to your new habits, or what lights a fire inside of you, or like your new passions. And as soon as you've done that, you're rooted in this new version of yourself. That's when you start to get matches. You know, that's when you start to match with new people. If that makes sense, okay? This was a freaking long reading, guys, but there was so much coming through and I was like, oh my freaking god, this is gonna be a long reading. I love you guys, that's why I'm here. I love you guys, I hope this helped you. I'm gonna see you in my next one and I wish you a lovely day. Bye. Hello my lovely pal number 3, welcome to your reading, guys. So as you can tell by the title, we're going to look at what you need to hear right now. May that be your spirit guides wanting to answer a question of yours, or may that be kind of like an answer to your prayer, or maybe you have been praying for clarity, guidance, for somebody to help you to find your path, to know what you should do next, how to get out of a situation in this reading might be your answer. Okay, kind of like what you need to hear right now, or like a response to a prayer or a thought that you put out into the universe, and the universe is responding, your spirit guides are responding, or maybe even the departed loved one on the other side might be responding to you. Okay, so give me a moment here, guys. Let me tap into the energy of yours. Okay, pile number 3. First of all, what I want to begin with is do you see that? That is so funny because the flame doesn't want to go off. Ooh, and I talked about it in pile number 2, so you could be connected to pile number 2. Okay, because I talked about a flame being lit, or a new flame needs to be lit, you see, and now it went off on its own. So I'm picking up a strong energy here of where spirit might be saying that there's a reason for, how can I explain that energy? That was very, weird that I'm noticing it, but it's kind of like where you force something and it doesn't work, but when you stop forcing it, that's when it works. So this might be an answer for somebody here. So you have been asking spirit a question and they might be saying, if you force it, it doesn't work, but if you just let it go, it happens on its own, is what I'm picking up here for others of you. Again, you come from pile number 2, and that's the flame that we talked about here that needs to be lit. Or your spirit guides are saying you are about to experience like a spark. Wow, do you know what I'm hearing? A lot of people talk about a spiritual awakening. Do you know what I'm actually hearing? I'm hearing a spiritual spark. Like spiritual awakening is kind of like your eyes are open to like a new truth, or a new energy, or a new way of living, or seeing things differently and stuff like that. Or your mindset is put upside down because you see things that you didn't see before. But I'm hearing a spiritual spark. So for some of you guys, you might be in the energy already where something really sparked you. Or you are about to experience a strong spark, or like a strong like flame. I'm being brought to like the Olympics in like Greek mythology where a torch is being lit. I'm being brought to a torch being lit. Okay, for a lot of you guys, I feel like you are experiencing a lot of deja vu moments recently. Okay, I want to go a little bit into signs that this is your pile. So I'm seeing like I'm seeing that a lot of you guys, you're going through a lot of, how do you say that? A lot of deja vu moments recently, or you feel like you've been here before, or this feels very familiar to you, this whole situation. Doesn't feel like it's your first time experiencing this. It feels like you've been here before. For others of you, I feel like you recently had a setback with your health, or you somehow experienced a setback. I feel like it has something to do with your health. Or maybe in your career. Okay, and there's something about recovering from that setback, not for everybody, but somebody here, I feel like you have been experiencing a setback, but I'm particularly being brought to April, where in April, or like the first half of this year, you felt like you experienced a setback, meaning like maybe career is going great, but you no longer are friends with somebody. Or let's say, for example, your relationship is going great, but you're not so happy with your job anymore. So you have to find a new job and then kind of like reintroduce yourself, which you could look at as a setback because you thought you found a place to be rooted. For some of you guys, maybe I'm also being brought to somebody who went into like you recently moved. And then you realize it's not the right thing, so you have to move again. But it feels like a setback because you felt like, I finally found my place, or I finally found who I am. I finally found what works for me, or I finally found like my place. And then you had like a setback, or maybe you felt like, okay, I'm on a good path. I'm starting to feel more confident. I'm starting to feel things are going great for me. And then maybe you have been going through a spiritual attack, or if it's not that, maybe somebody recently like said something to you where you felt like you felt very confident. It's kind of like where you feel very confident and then you talk to somebody and they say something, and as much as we have to be in control of our emotions, it felt like a setback because they maybe opened old wounds, or maybe they they said something that I don't know, kind of like scratched on your confidence. Does that make sense? So I feel like for some of you guys, you somehow went through something that you would think is a setback, but I feel like you're already recovering from it. So I don't feel like you're still struggling with that setback, but you might have already accepted it and you're moving on. Does that make sense? So I don't feel like you are in the energy of struggling. I feel like you're just finding your foot again, or you're recovering from that setback, or you're coming back to your strength recently, is what I'm picking up here, okay? Or you're slowly but surely getting out of that energy, okay? But again, for me, it feels like this might have occurred in April or in February, or like April, March, February, but I feel like since June, you're starting to feel better. That's what it feels like to me here, okay? Let me see what else is coming through here. This also might have been that you have been going through something big in last winter season, like December. I'm being brought to December, okay, where for some of you guys the setback has been in December and you're just now recovering from it. For others of you, it has been like April, February, where you felt like you're moving a few steps forward, but then you have to move a few steps backwards, okay? For others of you, you had a very weird dream recently where you don't know what this dream means, because we have the card here, such a curious dream. And it's kind of like when you wake up in the morning and you're like, I don't know what this dream is supposed to mean. I don't know what am I supposed to do with that information in that dream? So for some of you guys, you recently had a weird dream, or you are about to have a very weird dream. And you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, that was a very weird dream. There's something special about this dream, or this dream feels different, or there's a different energy in this dream that you're noticing. So it's not just a random dream. It's like, it feels like a significant dream is what I'm hearing, okay? For some of you guys, I'm picking up the energy here that you recently bought something for your head. So this could be hair products. I'm also being brought to like a headscarf. I'm being brought to a hat. I'm being brought to like jewelry, or something about dyeing hair or putting jewelry in your hair is what I'm picking up. I'm also being brought to mascara. I don't know why I'm being brought to mascara, or you have been more drawn to makeup recently, or changing something about your makeup routine. For others of you, you have been seeing turtles and butterflies. Yeah, I'm seeing turtles, butterflies, and dinosaurs. Oh yeah, we have turtles here twice actually. It says the mermaid and the turtle. Every time I see the word turtle, I think about this little child in an interview. He was like, I like turtles. Every time I see turtles. So turtles could be a significant spirit animal, or your spirit guides want you to know that turtles are your animal spirit right here, right now, in this very moment, because we have turtles here twice. I'm being brought to a New Year's resolution. Some of your spirit guides are saying, remember your New Year's resolution. Get back on track with your New Year's resolutions, what I'm being brought to. I'm also hearing there was a sign. On New Year's Eve, there was a sign. There was something different about your last New Year's Eve. There was a sign, and your spirit guides are saying, remember the sign that we sent to you on New Year's Eve. Okay, let me see if there's any other signs before we begin your reading. To be honest with you guys, I'm also hearing some of you guys who recently made a purchase, and you feel like it was unnecessary, or you feel like something about the quality of the purchase was not good, or something about, like, because with the thief card here, I'm hearing like you made a purchase and you feel like it was, why did I buy that? Or like an impulsive decision to buy something and then you don't even like it when you come home is what I'm picking up here, or the quality of something was not as good as you thought it would be. For some of you guys, you also have been seeing a lot of butterflies. The angel number 444 is also very significant here, okay? So let's see what's happening here. What does pile number 3 need to hear right now in this very moment? First of all, I'm hearing comparison is the thief of joy. So for some of you guys, your spirit guides are saying it is very, 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 very awesome to look at other people and get inspired, but don't lose yourself looking at people too much. Does that make sense? Where you don't see what is on your plate because you always look at another person's plate, and we've all been there before. But your spirit guides, I'm hearing like snap back, like you get inspired by other people, but if you notice that you looking at other people makes you sad or doesn't even motivate you, then stop doing it, okay? Because some people, they get very inspired looking at other people's success story, but if you don't get inspired and it does the opposite, your spirit guides might be saying stop doing it. You're going to be way more productive, or you're going to be way happier, or you're going to feel way more motivated not looking at other people. Again, some people, they get a kick out of looking at other people, and they get very inspired, but your soul and your spirit might not be the type to, or maybe not just right now in this very moment as you're watching me, or just in general, where the way your soul and your spirit works is you work better when you don't know what other people are doing, or you don't see other people's success story, because instead of motivating you, it doesn't motivate you. So your spirit guides are saying work with who you are as a person, which I talked about in pile number 2. If you notice that it doesn't motivate you, then stop doing it, okay? So maybe your inspiration or your motivation comes more from not knowing, from kind of like shutting, like having a tunnel vision instead of getting inspired everywhere. Does that make sense? So for some of you guys, you need to hear that comparison is the thief of joy, and that you would be a lot happier if you would not look at other people's pages, Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever. Because the way your soul and your spirit works, and there's no shame in that. Don't feel don't feel shame for that, because again, everybody works differently. So if you notice that it's just not good for you right now, then just stop doing it. And your spirit guides are saying you're going to see a big improvement in your mood and in your motivation if you don't compare yourself to other people, or if you don't look at other people's page or success or progress for a few months or for a few weeks. It's really going to benefit your energy and your mood. And I'm also hearing there's multiple ways to success. Something about there's multiple roads and there's multiple ways to success. Okay, so I'm hearing don't put all your eggs in one basket, because with the versatile energy here, it says freshwater turtle. There could be an energy where you feel like there's only one way to get to success, or you might be very fixed on this has to work out. Oh, we talked about it, right? Because I was like forcing the flame to go off, but it didn't work, and then it did its thing on its own. So there could be an energy here where in your mind you feel like there's only one way for you to be successful, or there's only one way for you to make money, there's only one way for you to find new people to meet your future spouse. But your spirit guides are saying there's multiple options, there's multiple roads. Oh my God, I'm just remembering stuff. Spirit is now showing me like they're showing me it was not a drawing, but I kind of like could you call it a vision board? It was not a vision board, but I took like a piece of paper, or it was more like a thicker piece of paper, and it was also colored. I think it was the color pink. Oh, that makes sense because I chose the color pink for your background. And I wrote down, if there's 1,000,000 ways, 1,000 ways for something to manifest, how can my little brain kind of like, how could I know all the 1,000,000 ways as to how something manifests? Because sometimes our mind needs something to hold on to, right? Our mind needs something to hold on to because our mind doesn't feel comfortable with the unknown. But that's what the universe is all about. The universe is all about mystery and the unknown. So there's something about where I wrote down kind of like there's 1,000,000 ways in order for something to manifest, or there's 1,000,000 ways in order for something big like an event to happen. There's 1,000,000 ways, there's 1,000 ways as to how something can happen. So how could I know the way in which it's going to happen? Does that make sense? So why try to grasp all the 1,000,000 ways, which is going to make your head explode, because you don't know which one of the million it's gonna be. So you might as well just take a step back and not think about how something is coming to you at all, because there's a million ways, and as much as you are an intelligent individual, the universe is so vast and probably infinite that you cannot comprehend everything that the universe has to offer. It's way too big just for one brain. That's why Spirit or God created multiple humans, because one human cannot contain all the knowledge. So why try to contain all the knowledge or to know everything if it's impossible, okay? So there's something about, maybe your spirit guides want you to rest in the knowing, rest in the knowing that nobody knows everything, or rest in the knowing that there's always going to be a hint of mystery or a hint of surprise, because the universe is way too infinite and way too big and way too vast in order to understand everything at once. Like, your mind would freaking explode. That's why Spirit created so many human beings on planet Earth, because everybody carries a little bit of knowledge, okay? For others of you, there could be an energy, because I'm being brought, the number 4 is significant here, because we have 4 of Pentacles here, okay? And then here we also have like the 4 corners, or north, east, south, west, which reminds me of like a compass. Let me see what's happening here. So your spirit guides are saying what you need to hear right now is to not put all your eggs in one basket, but to try out different things. And let yourself be surprised which one was the answer. So there's something about like, try multiple things and be open to the outcome, like what comes out of it. Does that make sense? To kind of know, okay, this is what I want, but I'm gonna be very flexible in how it's gonna come to me, or I'm very flexible as to how it's gonna happen, or I'm flexible in finding out the right path for me. That's interesting. I actually want to get one more card here for you guys. Give me a moment. There's also something oh, okay, this is for somebody in particular. Okay, this is not for everybody. But I'm picking up, oh guys, I'm picking up here somebody here thinks that, I'm hearing somebody here thinks that they're not a good mother. But your spirit guides are saying, oh, what you need to hear right now is there's no way where you can know everything at once, especially if you are very new to having children. Like if somebody already has like, I don't know, like 4 children, they already know a lot. But if it's like your first or your second child, of course you're not going to be able to know everything. So it's kind of like, be a little bit more forgiving with yourself. It's kind of like, be more forgiving with yourself of not knowing, okay? Not knowing or making a mistake is not a crime. It just means that you know, you didn't have the knowledge at this point in time, which is like impossible for you to know everything, is what I'm picking up here. Somebody here might be like scared that they're not going to become like, where you think about if you're a good parent or if you're doing everything right. And I'm hearing mistakes are bound to happen. Something about mistakes are bound to happen, but what makes the difference is the people that correct their mistake and the people that just, you know, push their mistake under the rug. So the difference, what makes all the difference is the people that acknowledge and correct their mistake, and the people that brush their mistake under the rug. That's the significant moment, okay? Where you have to be strong and admit something to yourself, because then your life is going to continue forward, and then you're already on your path to success because you acknowledged and corrected that mistake. But if you stay stuck in this energy of like pushing it under the rug, you're somehow staying stuck in that energy. That's what it feels like to me here, okay? So there's something about like not staying stuck in a mistake that you've done, or knowing that what makes you a beautiful human being is that you are acknowledging and correcting your mistake, okay? That's what makes you beautiful human being. And again, nobody knows everything. Only a fool thinks that he knows everything. A wise person knows that he doesn't know anything at all, you know? Let me get one last card here. What does pile number 3 need to know? because I'm seeing like the one card says helping children, and then we also have an elder will teach you. So for some of you guys, the spirit guides might be saying it's time for you to reach out to a teacher, a coach, or somebody who's a professional. Okay, kind of like where it's okay. I'm hearing it's kind of like an energy where your spirit guides are saying it's okay for you to ask for help, or it's okay for you to get extra help, or it's okay for you to admit that you need to learn something, okay? Because if you think about it, how does somebody become a master at something or an expert? They start off as a student. So when you decide that you want to become a student and get taught, you are already on your way to becoming a master. You're already on your way to success. Only a person who feels stubborn not to get taught, or who feels stubborn not to get help, stays stuck, okay? And there's no judgment here. We've all been there before, okay? So again, the card here says an elder would teach you. So for some of you guys, what you need to hear right now is that maybe your spirit guides want you to reach out to an elder. May that be somebody in your family who has a little bit more knowledge, and don't feel ashamed for asking. It's kind of like where you feel ashamed because you feel like you should know. But your spirit guides are saying, you know, you're not a machine. You are a human being, okay? And you're also not God Almighty. You're a beautiful human being that learns from their mistakes. So there could be an energy where your spirit guides want you to reach out to somebody, okay, that can teach you, or it's time for you. I'm hearing when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And for others of you, the time might be right for you to actually teach people. So for some of you guys, this might even be that you are ready to be a teacher, okay? For some of you guys, it might be ready for you to be a teacher is what I'm picking up here. Let me see. What do you want pile number 3 to know right now in this very moment? We have the Page of Cups here, yeah. Okay, let's see. Give me a moment here, guys. Just need to drink something because my throat is telling me that I need liquid. Let me read out the cards that came out for you. We have here 2 little witches. I'm hearing 2. I'm seeing 4 pairs of eyes. Oh, that's why we have the 4 here. I'm hearing 4 pairs of eyes see more than 2, or 2 brains see more than 1. Something about like where your spirit guides are saying 4 pairs of eyes see more than 2 is what I'm picking up here, okay? Because I'm looking at the eyes here, and it says magical space clearing time. So again, for some of you guys, pick up, it's time for you to reach out to get some help, or to reach out to a teacher or a coach, or to get serious about learning a skill, or get serious about, you know, becoming a student, or becoming a teacher, or about learning something to the best of your abilities. Or just reaching out for help to somebody so that you become them, because I feel like an energy where you want to be really good at something, but you might be ashamed to kind of like ask for help because you feel like you should know. So I don't know what this is. It's kind of like where your spirit guides are saying if your desire is to become really good at something, that means that it's time for you to be a student and just embrace. Because sometimes it's like, I was actually saying that to myself recently, where I love giving help to people, but I also love receiving help. Like sometimes I want to be the one that gets taught, and I want to be the one that gets guided, and I want to be held by somebody. Because sometimes I feel like maybe you might have also these thoughts where it's more respectable to be the one that teaches than to be the one that gets taught. But there's a beautiful energy in both energies. Does that make sense? So the one that receives help, that their heart and their mind is open, and that they trust somebody to get taught, is beautiful. It's kind of like, I appreciate all the hard work that you've gone through to become a teacher, and I'm so willing to learn from you, and I'm so grateful for the teachings that I can learn from you. So it's also like being a student is just as respectable as being a teacher, where both energies need each other. Does that make sense? So I feel like there's something about like, don't be scared to look like a fool in the beginning, or don't be scared to ask for help, or to be a student, or think that, again, there's something about like for me, for example, I love to teach, but I also love to learn. Like, I love to be a student, because it's kind of like where you give the leadership position, or you give this like, okay, lead me in the right direction, you give it to somebody else. And again, it's kind of like this beautiful energy between trusting somebody to give them the ability or the kind of like the upper hand to lead you, and then other times you are in the position to lead. So there could be an energy where your spirit guides want you to see that there's beauty in both energies. I don't know what this means, like beauty in both energies, the teacher and the student, or the receiver and the giver, where the way the universe works is always in balance. Receiving, giving, night and day, rain and sunshine, teacher and student, and both energies need each other, so they're both respectable energies. One is not better than the other, which we talked about with comparison, right? So you might be thinking that somebody is better than you or something along those lines, or there might even be people that think that you are better than them. So I don't know what this is, but it feels like to see that situation from a different perspective, because it all works together. You know, it's separation is an illusion. The teacher needs the student and the student needs the teacher. It's not like one needs the other person more than the other. We all need each other. Does that make sense? So there's no shame in asking for help, and there's also kind of like no shame in claiming the position of a teacher, because for some of you guys, you might be too shy to put yourself in a position of teaching, although you are very much capable of teaching because you've gone through a lot, you have a lot of experiences under your belt, and it's time for you to claim your position as a teacher, because there's students or there's people that literally wait for your wisdom. Okay, is what I'm picking up here. So it says magical space clearing time. I think I want to read it out from the guidebook, which we're going to do in a second. We also have here, life is better together. You see, it says seek. Oh, I didn't even read this card. Shit. I didn't read it. I swear to God, I didn't read it. It says seek assistance from your community. Connect with family, friends, or others who will support you. It can be as simple as making a phone call. You see, there's something about like, it's kind of like what you want to achieve, you can achieve it better in a community or as like a team or something along those lines. For example, where you ask somebody like, can you be my accountability buddy, or can you kind of like hold me accountable? Does that make sense? Where you somehow connect with another person who keeps you accountable, or who checks you, or kind of like to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Could be very, very significant on your path, on your life journey right now. We also have here the card success, and it says success that's true belongs to me, success with honor and integrity. So for a lot of you guys, you're currently manifesting success. Here's what I'm picking up here. Yeah, there's something about, because I feel like for some of you guys, you might be looking at other people and you feel like, oh man, I wish I was that successful. Or I wish I had what this person has. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. We've all been there before. There's no judgment on my channel. But your spirit guides are saying, if you look at another person's success story, when are you going to write your success story? It's time for you to write your success story. Okay. Something about like you are destined to succeed, but it's important for you to begin this journey, or to kind of like make the next step on your path to success. Okay. And then we also have here the card New Beginnings. It says, let this magic in my spell clear the space in which I dwell. We have here clearing and space twice. The word space and clearing we have twice here. Let me see. There's also something about all or nothing. Which brings me to my favorite quote. Wisdom tells me I'm nothing, love tells me I'm everything. Or something about an all or nothing energy. But maybe what you're asking about is not an all or nothing type of situation. Maybe there's like a middle. So I feel like an energy where your spirit guides want you to find the middle, or to see something from both sides so that you find the middle. And in the middle, like to find the golden middle is what I'm picking up here. Okay, because you might find yourself like in an all or nothing type of energy, but your spirit guides are saying it's way more complex. The universe is way more complex than all or nothing. Okay, I'm also being brought to For some of you guys, your spirit guides want you to read about the astrology sign Pisces, but I feel like in Vedic astrology. So for some of you guys, I feel like your spirit guides want you to dive into Pisces energy or look at your Pisces placement in astrology. But I follow Vedic astrology, and I feel like Vedic is a little bit more complex when it comes to explaining the zodiac signs, but I'm being brought to Pisces energy because Pisces energy is like the guru that understands that everything and nothing is like it belongs together. It's not separate from each other. That's why we hear a lot of stories about where somebody had nothing and then they had everything, because it's all connected. It's all one. Kind of like the whole universe can exist because there was space for it to exist. Just imagine like the space between two stars. There, you chose the star, right? Whoa, there's a lot of downloads coming through here. So if I do a little bit of weird stuff, it's because something is coming through. So Spirit is showing me the space between two stars. So there's one star here and there's one star here. But in order for these two stars to exist, there has to be space that seems to be nothing, right? So it's kind of like the air, you know, that we feel is the nothing. But the nothing contains everything. Like a room that is empty is just as important as the furniture that you put into the room. Does that make sense? Because one could look at the empty room and feel like, oh, the empty room is worth nothing, or it's nothing. You know, the air that we breathe, it looks like nothing, but it is so important. It's like it's not separate from each other. There's something about where you look at something and you see it as two separate energies when it actually belongs together. I don't know what this means in your life. Something about where I'm picking up an energy of like where something about a teacher and a student, something about like success and kind of like a black and white type of way of thinking. Let me see what is coming through here. Yeah, we talked about it because the card here says such a curious dream. Okay, and it says grounding, returning to reality, coming home. So it's kind of like snap back to reality. You might be sometimes you might be in your head a lot. Okay, so for some of you guys, I'm picking up a strong energy here. Okay, it's so funny because Spirit is bringing a lot of quotes to me. So they're telling me, I don't know by who this quote is. I might put it here somewhere, but they're telling me worrying is, oh man, what is this? It's like a quote that says worrying is the opposite of imagination or something like that. Hold on. I think there's something about worrying is the opposite of imagination. Let me see. I feel like your spirit guides you might feel ashamed for something, but your spirit guides want you to know there's no need for you to feel ashamed because it's the first time that you're doing this, or it's your first time, and of course you're gonna make mistakes. That's what I'm hearing here. For some of you guys, your spirit guides want you to know, like, don't be ashamed. It's your first time, it's your first rodeo, it's your first something, and it's normal to make mistakes, you know. But the difference between the person who succeeds and the person who doesn't succeed is one person corrects their mistake and keeps it moving, keeps it going, and the other person stops because they made a mistake. Okay. Oh yeah, that's what it is. This quote is by Dan Zadra or Zadra. Worry is a misuse of the imagination. Okay, so you might be somebody you are very much in your head, and your spirit guides want you to know it's actually a gift. Like, you have the gift of creating a world in your mind. But if you misuse that energy, like you bring more worry to you than is needed. So your spirit guides want you to redirect this energy that you have. Like, I feel like you have a lot of energy in your mind, and your spirit guides are telling you that you can use that to your advantage, because it might be easy for you to visualize, or it might be easy for you to daydream. It might be easy for you to close your eyes and see images and stuff like that. So if you turn it around from worrying And then you turn it around because we have now it makes sense because the Page of Cups is Pisces energy, and Pisces is all about imagination. Okay, so something about where you turn the images in your head, instead of worrying, you turn them into daydreams, or you turn them into best case scenarios. You're basically like imagining your new reality into existence. So again, you have the ability to visualize, or if you didn't know, you have a gift of visualizing, you have a gift of imagination, or your superpower is your imagination. I'm being brought to the quote, again, a lot of quotes, I love quotes. I'm being brought to the quote by Albert Einstein, which says, logic gets you from A to Z, but imagination gets you everywhere, which is the reason why imagination is so beautiful. There's no limit. And if you think about it, the universe, as far as we know, is limitless or infinite. So if the universe is limitless and infinite, that also means that there's infinite, we talked about it in the beginning of your reading, that means that there's infinite possibilities and things that we have not yet discovered, right? When we look at the ocean, how much have we not been discovering? When we look at other planets, we have not been discovering, like there's a lot of stuff that we have as a humanity have not yet discovered, meaning that there's no way in heaven, I always say heaven, there's no way in heaven that we know everything, or there's no way in heaven that you can just put something into a box. The universe is limitless and it's infinite, which also means infinite possibilities, which means don't put yourself in a box, or don't put yourself in limitations. Does that make sense? Because like just a few hundred years ago, people thought that the earth was flat, you know? So that means at that point in time, it was crazy for people to assume that the world is round. And now it's totally normal. So what might be looking crazy right now, or what, do you know what I mean? Kind of like what might be crazy or weird knowledge or like questionable might be fact in the future, because we're still evolving, there's still knowledge. So there's something about picking up the energy where your spirit guides don't want you to put yourself in a box, or don't put the definition of success in a box, or something about where it's not limited. Like you might be thinking very limited when your spirit guides want you to open your mind and just acknowledge that there's infinity, you know, that we are part of this infinity energy. So if there's infinity, if we're part of this infinity energy, if there's not like a straightforward answer to everything. I don't know what this means with you, but I feel like you have been putting yourself in a box, or you have been like thinking that success only means one thing, or do you know what I mean? Or self-love only means one thing, but your spirit guides want you to open your mind a little bit more, okay? Because if you open your mind, then there's different ideas and different possibilities are gonna appear in front of you. Oh, there's not just one way of making money, there's multiple ways of making money. There's not just one way of practicing self-love, there's multiple ways of practicing self-love. Does that make sense? Because for a lot of you guys, you might be destined to walk a path that is very unique, but you might not allow yourself to walk this very unique path because you're not even acknowledging that this unique path exists. Does that make sense? I know I speak very much in tongues, but for me this feels like where your spirit guides are saying your imagination will bring you to your answer, or something about, again, where your logic tells you something from A to Z, but imagination is like connected to the infinity of the universe. So your answer might be in the infinity, in the energy of infinity, rather than in the energy of A to Z and in a box, okay? I don't know what this means to you guys, but I feel like there's something about being open to different possibilities, okay? Not to put yourself in a box, okay? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. For some of you guys, there might be an energy where somebody might be swimming here, or something about swimming. Okay. Or somebody just went swimming in a lake or something, or in the sea, in an ocean or whatever. Let me see. I'm also hearing, I feel like you are connected to pile number 2. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm hearing purple line. So purple could also be a significant color in your life, but they're also showing me something else. Okay, so for some of you guys, I'm picking up the energy here. You recently had a supernatural encounter where you saw something. I don't know what it is. I feel like for some of you guys, you just recently saw something supernatural taking place. And for others of you, you are about to see something supernatural taking place where there's no explanation. Only a person who was with you would believe you, kind of like it's supernatural. There's something supernatural here. Pick up a supernatural energy, and your spirit guides want you to know they're going to communicate to you very, very soon with something supernatural happening in your life. Okay, which we talked about, because I said in the beginning of your reading that you're gonna feel a spark. You might be feeling a spark, or you are about to feel like a strong spark, as if a torch is being lit. And I feel like this might happen through something supernatural taking place, or something witchy, something magical that you would actually call magic. Okay, for others of you, I'm picking up a strong energy where your spirit guides want you to invite more magic or more supernatural or more like magical energy into your life by asking for it. Kind of like, show me something magical, or dear universe, I want to see something supernatural. Please send me a supernatural sign. Please send magical energy to me. Please show me the magic of the universe. Where your spirit guides might actually want you to ask for it, because as you ask for it, you receive it, and it's gonna kind of like light up a light inside of your soul and your spirit that is really gonna catapult you to success, is what I'm picking up here. Or it's gonna make something very clear to you as to how you can get to success, whatever the heck that means to you. Okay, so let me give me 1 second. I want to actually read this card out here. Okay, so give me 1 second here, guys. Just give me a moment here. Take a deep breath with me. You know what's funny? I also pick up an energy here where you might be craving success, or you think that you crave success, and there's nothing wrong with craving it, you know, because I don't like when people say like, oh, you know, you should just, I don't know, like surrender to what is, which is important. But again, as a Libra, I think there's always two sides to the coin, and you find the truth in the middle, like the golden middle. So as much as it's important for you to surrender to life and what happens, it's also important for you to take control by speaking or walking or taking action. So it's always two energies that bring something together, or that create a whole. And I sometimes don't like how people like say that it is bad to strive for success, or that you shouldn't ask for success or something along those lines, because then why the heck are we here? You know, isn't everybody here to write their own story? And if some people crave, or if your soul was designed to experience a success story, then this is your path. Some people, they don't give a fuck about, you know, material success. And the funny part is, I want to tell you guys, I feel like an energy where you will experience success with your spirituality before you experience success with, you know, like the material world or with love. There's something about before you successfully manifest love or money or success or something along those lines, there's gonna be you experiencing success spiritually. Like you will see things that other people don't see, or you will have a strong connection to God or the universe that is very rare, or not a lot of people have. Like, just imagine, it is a blessing, and it is spiritual success. I'm being brought to spiritual success because it's like not everybody will see with their eyes what you see. So you are about to see something supernatural. For others of you, you already have, and your spirit guides want you to know that everybody is blessed with different stuff, but I feel like you in particular, you are blessed with a strong connection to God and a strong connection to the universe, or you are about to be blessed with witnessing something that is supernatural, kind of like where you witness a miracle, you witness like a supernatural miracle, you witness something in nature that is supernatural, and your spirit guides want you to know that not everybody is not everybody experiences that, so that's a huge blessing in itself. And that is actually the stepping stone for you to manifest success in other areas of your life. So if you focus on your spirituality and your connection to God, success is also going to come in other areas of your life, because the way your soul and your spirit works is, if you are lit, if your energy, if your fire is lit because of your spiritual experiences, because of these supernatural experiences, because of this strong connection that you feel to spirit, the universe, or the spiritual realm, or your spirit guides, your energy is going to be so strong that you're going to catapult to success. So all the other areas where you wish to see success, they all start with your spirituality or your connection to God, or the 12th house, or something about your Pisces placement is what I'm picking up here, okay? So let me see what's going on here. And for others of you, you might think that you wish for success with love or friends or material. And you might really desire that. You know, I'm not saying that it is not true, but maybe what your soul is longing for the most right now in this very moment is to witness a miracle, or to have a strong spiritual experience that is gonna kind of like light a fire inside of you, okay, is what I'm picking up here. So let's see what that is about. Why am I hearing that? I'm hearing only those that come to me with a pure heart are allowed to see me, or what the heck? I'm hearing only those that come to me with a pure heart are allowed to see me. It's like in movies where this main character in the movie sees like the spirit or this creature, and other people are either not allowed to see it, or other people are they cannot see it because they lack something in their heart or their spirit to see it. So I don't know what this means. There's hearing only those who come to me with a pure heart or with pure intentions are allowed to see me. So I don't know what this means. I also feel like very strongly, because I felt it in pile number 2 too. I also feel very strongly that you are about to meet a new person. This person is part from your soul tribe and your soul family. But I'm almost picking up the energy here that you and them, you both had to go through like a cleansing energy where you cleanse yourself from kind of like a impurity, where you had to cleanse yourself from something. It's like how can I explain that energy? I'm hearing like you're going through this energy of like, you know, when you can I say something? And I know it's gonna sound stupid, but it's like an energy where your soul needed to take a shower before you meet this person. And I'm not saying that there was anything wrong with you, but it's kind of like, as we live, we collect dust, right? There's nothing wrong with your statue, but it does collect dust over time if you don't cleanse it. Does that make sense? That's what it feels like to me here. Or something about where you walk and walk, you talk to a lot of people, and then energetically there's a lot of stuff that you collect, right? And then you need to like wash this, and this could even be an energy where you had to wash yourself or cleanse yourself from an old friendship, an old lover, an old marriage, or something along those lines, where you had to cleanse yourself from an old relationship or like an old lover, an old something, so that this new person can come to you. There's something about cleansing yourself, because you might have picked up a lot of energy from the other person that didn't belong to you. So you had to kind of like cleanse yourself from the energy that doesn't belong to you. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, but let's see what the card is about. So it says, from out of the shadow come the two little witches, solemn and sincere. Oh, do you see? Okay. They fix you with their clear green and blue gaze and ready you for the magic that is the broom they are about to pass on to you. And what is the magical secret of this broom? Why? That it can sweep clear any old stale energy that is lurking about you at the moment. Take this broom and see it whisk all by itself, once, twice, 3 times, around the house, your hearth, your home, and it will clear out all that is hiding in the shadows of the corner and the underneath of the rooms of your soul and your home. For some of you guys, it has been about clearing your subconscious mind, or bringing out everything that was stored in your subconscious mind, and you clearing your subconscious mind so that it's kind of like where you notice like, oh, I'm doing something because of a thought that I have in the back of my mind. Does that make sense? Because a lot of things that we do and say and speak they come from the subconscious mind rather than the conscious mind. Does it make sense? So I feel like a lot of things have come up from your subconscious mind so that it doesn't bring, that's what it is. The things that are in your subconscious mind that came out, you had to cleanse them because they would have brought problems in this new connection that you are about to enter. May that be business, friendship, or love. So all these thoughts, maybe even like old wounds or old problems, they resurface so that you cleanse them so that they don't cause any problems in this new relationship. That's what it feels like to me here, okay? Because I feel like you are being prepared for a new friendship, a new lover, being introduced to somebody else's family, or being part of like a community or a group or something along those lines. Or even like in case you are a mom or you are becoming a mom, there's a lot of stuff that you are healing before your child grows up, or before you birth your child, or before you actually become a mom or get pregnant or something along those lines, okay? So that it doesn't affect your child or the way you raise your child is what I'm picking up here. Okay, it says 𝑤h𝑛𝑗𝑜𝑦 is the traditional direction for clearing energy. It means against the sun, and in the northern hemisphere, to go 𝑤h𝑛𝑗𝑜𝑦 or window shines is to direct energy in a counterclockwise direction. In the southern hemisphere, it is the direct energy clockwise. When it is done, they clap their hands 3 times, and the broom returns to their arms, and they move on to the next home that needs their help. But now that it is done, what will you fill your space and your life with? We talked about it, the empty room, right? That is the greatest and trickiest choice of all, but one which only you can make. And then it says, the 2 little witches speak. Out, out, from within, we cleanse the space from trouble and din. Out, out, let all be gone, and make this place a cheerful home. We are here to cleanse and clean. We are creatures in between. Okay, we will work with dusk till dawn to ensure energy is reborn. We leave it clear and bright and blank, and for this task we ask no thanks. But we do wish you well in this. May all brought in create your bliss. Oh my god, I love that. You see? Okay. And then it says, make the mundane work for you. It's time to conduct a house clearing followed by a house blessing. There is an easy pointer. New locations, either the smallest of changes for household objects or a rearrangement of what goes where in your bedroom, or an entire move is very much on your mind when these 2 twin witches show up with their brooms of power. If there is anything keeping you back from making the change, please make small, useful, and symbolic gestures. Shift the furniture and clear away what you no longer need. Whenever we make a change, we always rediscover stuff we've been hanging on to, stuff that's weighed us down without our even realizing it was there. Time for a space clear for you. Okay, so pile number 3. I think that's all I have for you guys. The last card that we have here is which your spirit guides are highlighting that you could also see a lot of success coming into your life by using morning affirmations, or just affirmations in general, like listening to affirmations as you go to bed, as you fall asleep, at night, because it's connecting to your subconscious mind. Or just morning affirmations in general. Maybe you say them in front of a mirror or you write them down. But it says, say positive affirmations each morning to open the gates of manifestation. Okay. So pile number 3, that's all I have for you guys. I hope this reading helped you. So again, for some of you guys, you are being prepared for a move, or you're being prepared to move, like to move to a different location, a different environment, or like a different house, for you to experience a change in roommates. And for others of you, this has something to do with like you're being prepared for a new relationship, platonic, romantic, or business. Okay, now, which is funny, now that I think about it, one more thing that I want to tell you guys. Didn't I say that your spirit guides might want you to ask for signs and synchronicities and like miracles or supernatural stuff, or something that is lighting a fire when it comes to your spirituality, kind of like a new fresh energy when it comes to your spirituality, when it comes to your experiences, when it comes to your connection to God in the universe. And the card literally says it could be as small as making a phone call, you know, where you ask the spirit, hey, I need some new energy when it comes to my spirituality, where my faith is being reborn, or where my energy is being reborn, where my belief in magic is being reborn. So please send something to me that kind of like helps me to believe in magic again, that helps my faith in you, or helps my strength or my spirituality. And I talked about it in pound number 2. I talked about a phone call. I literally did all these gestures of phone calling. So you in pound number 2, you are connected to each other. I know my readings are very long, so if you feel called to, funny the way I used that word, if you feel called to, you can watch pound number 2 on a different day, or if you have a lot of energy or a lot of time right now, you can go to pound number 2 now, because I feel like there's also a lot of messages there for you. That's all I have for you guys. Pile number 3. I hope you like this reading. I'm gonna see you in my next one, and I wish you a lovely day. Bye.